You definitely did not have a friend named Lance Mountain. You know, like that's Mountain. You know, you had
Chris Roberts. All right. We are back, huh? We're back at the 9 Club, everybody. Today, we have a very special vertical guest. Mr. Darren Navarrette is with us. A vertical vampire. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yes?
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Dude, thank you so much for coming by. This is going to be so much fun. You have turned our set, anybody listening at home, into the Creature/Skeleton Key household, and I feel a little spooky. Dubs he loves scary shit.
I do.
Okay.
We just missed Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for coming. And speaking of the vertical vampire, I just want to let's get this right off the bat, because I've heard a couple stories of how you got that name, and maybe you can clarify right now. One of them, I heard that Dave Swift was going to take a portrait of you, and you were like, "Hey, hold on, let me go grab these." And you grabbed vampire teeth and you put them in. But then I don't know. But then I've also heard that Jake Phelps coined the vertical vampire for you.
Okay,
so what's the story?
At first, it was the vert monster. Okay, here's the story was. Well, I get on Creature. They like my nose. You fit perfectly.
This was in 1994.
Okay, before that, so I snuck into the trade show 3 days in a row.
ASR.
I snuck into the trade show 3 days in a row. Wasn't sponsored. Passed the Samoans every day. And I skated, and all of a sudden I was walking past NHS's booth. Hey, you're that one guy. Ooh, yeah. And would you ride for SMA? I was like, SMA? What? SMA?
Wait, they didn't even see you. They just saw you skating randomly, or they didn't see your sponsor tape. They just saw you skating.
I wasn't a sponsor tape person. I didn't even know. We were on the scene. Like we were there.
Oh, okay.
So all of a sudden I was on SMA for a second, and I was like, I'm on SMA. What the fuck, SMA? The legacy of that. So then I go home and I call Russ Pope. And he's like, we're not doing SMA anymore. We're doing a thing called Creature.
This was quick. This was very quick, right? SMA, then to Creature.
Well, yes. No, I was never on SMA. I was never on SMA.
Okay.
They didn't start Creature yet. So all of a sudden they're like, hey, we're going to do this new thing called Creature. We think you're perfect. I like your nose. And I was like, now this is my interpretation, because Russ could be like, I never said that, Darren. I was like, but this is what I remember. We like your nose. You're perfect. Because I looked like a...
Maybe a vampire without the teeth.
So we're starting this company called Creature. And I was like, okay, Creature. And they're like, we're going to send you a T-shirt and a board. Can you send us some footage? So I was like, okay. So they sent me the T-shirt and the board. I got the T-shirt. I put it on. I was like, I'm 16, 17 years old. Creature. I'm trying to meet girls. I already look like a creature. Oh, no. What do I do? But I'm taking the opportunity. And so, let me see. Send us some footage. So I sent them some footage.
By the way, you're still out in Minnesota at this point,
Oh, yeah.
right?
It's all Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota. So I sent them some footage, and all of a sudden I get the call from Russ Pope and Jason Adams, like, oh, you're a vert skater. I was like, yeah, well, what do you think I was? And I sent them a footage of just one day skating. Just filmed it one day. Hey, film this one day. And, oh, you're a vert skater. Like, yeah. Well, you thought I was a mini ramp skater. I ain't a mini ramp skater. I'm a vert skater. Okay, perfect. So that was it. We started with that, and I was on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That was early days of, that was 1994, Creature.
Yeah.
But then when did the vertical vampire come into play?
So then it started with
You
that.
said monster skater. Vert monster.
Vert monster.
Correct. Okay.
So it started with Vert Monster. All of a sudden they made these wheels. And my first ad, I think, said, the return of the Vert Monster.
But who coined that? Who was calling you the Vert Monster at that point?
That was Russ Pope or NHS. I mean, I have a picture of it if you want to see it. My first ad somewhere, it says, the return of the Vert Monster.
Okay.
Because vert skateboarding was dead.
Where were you returning from?
Vertical skateboarding. Because in
so vert was completely like, not gone. I mean,
it was gone.
It was gone.
It was gone. No one wanted to be a vert skater.
94? Yeah.
94 started coming back, but 93, so I mean, you know, when 93 hit, you show me a magazine with vertical skateboarding at all. You know, it did not exist. But mini ramp skating, this and this and this was still there, so they saw something, but yeah, there it is.
Return of the Vert Monster.
See, because I'm coming from somewhere like they're coming. It's coming.
But
back.
are they calling you the Vert monster or just return of here comes Vert? Vert's coming back now. Here's the return of the Vert.
It's just a saying.
I'm gonna say it's me.
Okay, okay, fair enough.
But this is like, Girl started at 93, right? So it's like Girl and then Chocolate. So it's like that era of like Goldfish and all.
100%.
Street skating is like heavy.
And then here we come. But see, they didn't know I was a vert skater, so it was completely like. But they're still gonna use me because they like my nose. I'm perfect.
Oh, so wait. So they turn the Vert monster 20 years with the vertical vampire.
Yeah. So then it switched.
Okay.
Somehow we think Jake Phelps started calling me the vertical vampire. It lined up. Vert vampire. VV. You know. It made more. It was more fluent.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you already had it in your mind, so that's when the teeth come into play with the photo of Dave Swift, or that what?
The teeth showed up just because. For some reason, Creature was putting those teeth in there, and I didn't know. It was like the first time I showed up and met Swift, he's shooting my checkout. Like, I'm supposed to shoot your checkout. So before we go I met Jamie Thomas. I'm skating this fire hydrant, and he's like, "Hey, you're that vert guy?" I'm like, "Because we're all living in Mission Beach, and we're new. Chad Musk is new. Jamie Thomas is not so new, but we're all new. It's 1994. Who are all of us? You know?"
Yeah.
Can I ask you a quick question before? When did you move out here? Were you already living here at 94?
I moved out
because we'll backtrack after this and go back into that. But just for this, where
1990 ended 1994. Let's just go.
Okay,
there. Yeah.
perfect.
Because
perfect.
I mean, it's a blur by now. You know.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it's I like knowing kind of the
1994
the era, the date.
So
okay.
in 1994, if we look at stuff like. Where was Chad Musk in 1994? That was Maple Skateboards. He was wearing a wife beater and the hat before the boombox. So that's the era because all of a sudden we were all together kind of. We're all brand new skaters in Pacific Beach, Mission Beach. And I just happened
These are street skaters though.
But I'm a skateboarder.
I know.
And
Were the Alien Workshop dudes down there too?
They sure were.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had the
Sick.
Alien house,
Yeah.
Treeford house, and Jamie Thomas house, and my house.
Sick.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jamie Thomas grabs a hold of you.
Well, he sees me jumping this fire hydrant. He's like, "Hey, you're the vert skater." I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Do you have a shoe sponsor?" I was like, "No." And he's like, "If you could ride for any shoe sponsor, who would you take?" And I'm like, "Vans." He's like, "I can do that for you. Or you can ride for Etnies." And we're doing a video right now. It's gonna be called High Five. I'll film your whole part, and you're on. I was
Perfect.
Like,
Wow.
Etnies. So then he opens up his trunk of his car.
Just that quick.
And he's like, "What size shoes do you wear?" I'm like, 10 and a half. He's like, "So do I." It's like, okay. He opens up the trunk of his car. He gives me his used shoes. I put them on.
One pair.
One pair of used shoes, his shoes. I put them on. I could feel where his toes were. And I'm like, this is weird. But I'm still taking this opportunity. Like, let's go. And so then we filmed my video part.
He filmed it.
He did.
Wow.
And one day,
pretty amazing.
one day, and it was just like, but he's never seen what I was doing, so it was just like, it was me skating a vert ramp. Like, this is it.
Which vert ramp did you go to? The YMCA or?
Yeah. No,
okay.
there's a Etnies High Five. I have a.
Oh, wait, this is Matthias Ringstrom.
Okay, I'm right after this guy.
Okay.
And so Jamie filmed this whole thing, and this is
Which vert ramp is this, by the way?
Mission Valley, not this one, of course.
Okay.
That's not me. That's Matthias Ringstrom.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Right?
Is that the one that Colin and Danny used to skate a lot?
No, that's Canada right there.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so this is it.
There you go. What? So where? This was in Mission
Valley.
Oh, okay.
And then that one too. Maybe Schlossbach filmed that one trick. But Jamie, remember
Was
Schlossbach?
that? So that was Mission Valley too? I thought that was Encinitas.
That was
or something.
Encinitas, yeah.
Okay.
So there's Swifty shooting a photo. That was Swifty shooting a photo right there. And
That was
right
sick,
there.
by
So,
the way.
Oh.
so that's Swifty shooting a photo because Jamie lined it up to like, hey, you're gonna go shoot your checkout with Dave Swift, and then he's like, hey, we got to shoot a photo of your face. And that's why I put the vampire teeth in because I was like, I don't know.
Why not? Hey, why not?
So Phelps had already coined the vertical vampire.
Phelps didn't even know who I was yet. No.
Oh.
Well, shit.
Well, he's already. This is what I'm saying.
No,
though.
you're right because Phelps did because before I became this guy, well, I was already there.
Who were you before? No, I'm just kidding.
Skateboarder. Before I became this guy, Thrasher sent Luke Ogden to Minnesota to shoot photos of me out of nowhere else, and we get this call. It's Greg Witt that did a Good Time Skateboards. Like, we got this Thrasher guy coming to shoot photos of us, of you and us, and all this. And this is probably how it started. So Luke Ogden out of Thrasher shows up in nowhere. We're just nervous. Our hands are all like, oh, this is what?
He's showing up in Minnesota.
For what? To shoot us? Vert skaters? What? And at the time I was staying at this church. Okay, so here's how it started.
Okay.
Here's how it started. So I was staying at this church. I meet Luke Ogden. I'm really stoked on him. All of a sudden he's staying there he's like, yeah, stay with us. We're in this church. There's a bat flying around. This is a true story. And I'm already riding for Creature.
Is this a dilapidated church, or is this an actual functioning church?
Dilapidated.
Okay.
Old, dilapidated, small church, not like a big one. But so everything's happening for reasons which beyond my control. This is what's happening. You ride for Creature. You're staying in a church. What the heck's going on?
Bats flying around.
So we find this bat. We catch it. We catch it with a broom. We put it in a coffee, like a coffee pot. And he's hanging upside down. And we're just watching it. You know, we're looking at it, and there's just a bat hanging upside down. And every night we're just looking at it like, whoa, this is cool. So then
It's your pet.
I didn't want that pet. And then Luke Ogden's shooting photos, and I touched the roof of the ceiling, and it said, might have said the vertical vampire hangs from the roof like a bat. So it's all lining up, which is, again, beyond my control, but like, what's going on? Like, it's all meant to be.
Yeah, it all makes sense.
But I don't want to be a vampire.
But it's funny in skateboarding though, you're given these names, right? You're given, like, the Muska didn't coin himself the Muska. He was given the name the Muska, right?
Yeah.
The vertical vampire. They're publishing your little captions as like the vertical vampire.
See, I didn't even want that because at that time I was 16, 17, and the vampire, like, I didn't want to be this. You're gothic, and I was like, I don't want to be gothic. I just want to be a skateboarder. Like, basically, I was trying to meet girls. And all of a sudden, no.
So you thought that was gonna hurt?
Turns out it didn't hurt at all. There we go. Well, because years later, I was like, oh, the Misfits are cool. So I went with that line of like, oh,
now you're mysterious.
This is,
Yes.
exactly.
Serious, right?
Yeah.
So what happened with Ogden coming out and shooting you? That was in the article.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Thrasher, the
Okay.
whole thing. And we're still living in Minnesota. There's 4 feet of snow, and there it is. Yeah.
What other vert skaters were you skating with out there?
Locals, Aaron Davies and Greg Witt, and that was about it. There was like 3 of us.
Yeah.
What?
Nobody.
Now,
I mean, they were somebody to me, and they're still somebody today. But
For sure.
Pause podcast.
Okay.
I need to tell you guys that this episode is brought to us by Athletic Greens.
Ooh, we love athletic greens.
We do.
This is gold in a box, right? Love this stuff. With one delicious scoop of Athletic Greens, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and Kelly's favorite thing in the whole world, adaptogens.
I love
There it is.
adaptogens.
This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging.
Well, not only that,
Ooh, tell me, Drone.
contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals or artificial anything, while still tasting good.
Nothing budget, only buttery, right?
Nothing budget,
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
But it also supports better sleep quality and recovery as well.
Tons of people take multivitamins, but it's important that you choose one with high quality ingredients that your body will actually absorb.
And it's also better when not to have a full medicine cabinet full of, supplements.
Oh, man.
You know,
Wait, so I can get rid of all my supplements?
Yeah, I was just over at Kelly's house the other day, opened the cap, I was hit with supplements.
Get the trash can.
Yeah.
Throw them in there.
To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is just visit athleticgreens.com/9club. That's NINECLUB. Again, athleticgreens.com/9club. Take ownership of your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance today,
There
which
it
is Athletic Greens.
Take over your health now.
Just to put this into context, like you started skating in '84, right? So in '84, vert and everything was big.
Well, that
so
was it.
so obviously in Minnesota there was vert ramps.
so in '84, skateboarding right before, so Back to the Future showed up in what, 85, 86?
Sure.
But also, for some reason in Minnesota, there was a lot of vert ramps everywhere, and it was amazing. And so basically for me, it started with freestyle bikes, like all of us. BMX bikes, yeah.
Yep.
And all of a sudden I saw a quarter pipe for the first time, and we're riding our bikes on the quarter pipe, and then we go to the BMX track, and someone's like, hey, there's a half pike down the street. Half pike?
Yeah.
And my brother kept saying, no, it's a half pike, because it's like, tick, 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 tick. It's like there was a TV show like Pike's Peak or something like that, game show. But so half pike, what's that? But this is a half pike. Oh, a half pipe. But anyways, I go there and I see this this culture, like, And these guys were good. They were already going to San Diego in the 70s and stuff. So I had some elders down the street from me. So I was very fortunate. These elders were at a higher level. And I just saw this vibration of skateboarding, like, what is this? There was this smell, this taste, this thing. There was 2 girls in the corner of the ramp, and even they looked cool, like, because it was just like, this is not the football team, this is not the baseball team, this is none of this. This is like, where am I? This is a subculture that I've never seen. The music that they played there, you couldn't hear it anywhere. It was like, you didn't hear it on the radio. You heard nothing. Like, what is this culture? What's skateboarding?
You also mentioned that the smell, the taste, the sights, like if you say that to some kid nowadays, I don't know if they'd understand what you're talking about.
I don't think they
Well,
would
for
either.
me, skateboarding, just like, when I tell people, like, it had a smell. What did it smell like? It smelled like duct tape, pads,
Shoe goo.
masonite, shoe goo,
Boards when you walk into a skate shop.
Yeah.
stickers,
Stickers for days.
vinyls, hand done. And so then people are like, well, what color did it have? It's like, well, it's red. And they're like, why red? What did it taste like? But am I bleeding? So you tasted it, and then the sound of it was just all this thing. So it had this whole thing. Is like, what is this? It didn't exist anywhere. And again, I was very fortunate to these guys, and where it came from. Like, we had this place called P.I.S.S, Private Indoor Skate Spot. Husker Du would practice there. The Cows would practice there. And Husker Du is a very big band, or was punk band, but they'd practice there, and it was just this culture of skateboarding again.
This was a skate park.
No.
Oh, what'd you say it was?
It was like your guys' house here.
Oh,
It was
okay.
just-
Got you.
It was just this thing of like, we're building ramps in the middle of nowhere, or in the middle of a warehouse with asbestos and all this stuff, like, to skate. But here's these bands that became really big bands too, this culture that were just doing these really cool things. So it was all this thing together, like, so it's funny because I took my father, I was like, hey, you got to take me to this place. I want to show you this place called P.I.S.S, Private Indoor Skate Spot. And he's like, huh? Private Indoor Skate Spot.
I love that piss.
Piss.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I love it.
That's
And it was a
good.
key thing, so you had to have a key.
Oh,
but I
you were a
snuck-
key holder.
No, I snuck in.
Oh, okay.
I was,
Okay.
at that time, I was 12 years old, and I just knew how to. Well, I had a couple
Maneuver
elders.
through
You could
it.
wiggle your way in.
I had a
Yeah.
couple elders of, for some reason, take me. I don't know why. I'm very stoked on it, but they took me. Chad Javier. But so I take my dad there, and there's these 2 dudes in the corner, and they're smoking bong hits, and I'm like, those guys are the best guys here. They're the best here.
Your dad's like, where'd you bring me?
Exactly, and I'm the same way. Like, where are we? And he's the same thing. Like,
But your dad, did he approve of this?
so we're going home.
Okay.
And we're sitting in the car, and he's like, son, I don't ever want you going there again. And I'm just like, I'm going to go there no matter what. And he's like, okay, every time you go, tell me. I was like, okay. So I told him, like, I'm going. But he didn't want me there. And years later, we talked about, like, he's like, son, I saw needles. I saw broken bottles. I saw mattresses. Because it was that punk.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, all I saw was the ramps. I'm not going to jump on this mattress where the needles are and all the stuff is,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that wasn't. Did you see those ramps?
Right.
Those ramps. So yeah.
It's just the environment that he that was his concern.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, of
I
course.
think any dad would be in that same. I would do that the same thing for my
Absolutely.
kid.
Absolutely.
It's funny when you fall in love with skateboarding at a young age, you don't see anything around it.
No.
You just see the skating, and that's it.
Yeah,
That's why
he was like the ramps,
Yeah.
the ramps.
Right.
Yeah.
Years later, he saw what I saw, and I tell kids, parents today, that same story. Like, hey, skateboarding can get you into trouble, but if you love skateboarding so much, it'll pull you out of trouble.
100%.
You know?
1000%.
Yes. I said 100. You say
It's all
1,000.
good.
It's-
It's all
yes.
good. It's the same.
So now you're 12 years old. You're discovering these ramps. You're starting what I consider now your journey into like becoming the vertical vampire. Was there any other skates, any other ramps in the zone
Well,
there? I mean,
so-
besides P.I.S.S?
Well, so then here comes Back to the Future, the movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and all of a sudden skateboarding just took off.
Game changer.
And it was everywhere. Backyard ramps everywhere. I could go, and I almost didn't like it because I'm a skateboarder, a real skateboarder. I've been skateboarding for 1 year. And what is this? Everybody skateboards now. Everybody. I like it.
Going
now.
to Toys R Us and buying the what was it, the Volterra decks or something?
Oh, yeah.
Whatever
Oh, yeah.
Michael J. Fox was
Oh, yeah.
skating.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I had one of those.
Really?
Yes, 100%.
I did too.
Okay.
I did not have one of those.
Well, you skated before that, so you knew,
Yeah.
right?
Well, actually, I never had that. I just had a board that had the handles on it.
No.
You know
I
what I
had
mean?
the actual like Volterra. I think it was Volterra. Veriflex
Wait a minute,
or Volterra?
Wait a minute. You
Not a
had,
scooter.
both
Not a
relative.
scooter.
no,
Not
no,
a scooter.
but you had a board with handles on it?
Yeah. Like when I was like,
That one right there.
I must have been like 8.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't know what it was. It was just there. I was like, oh, sick. And then,
This is the new thing.
But that's basically what I saw with Back to the Future. He rips that thing off.
Yeah.
This is
And
what
then-
I had
yeah.
this deck.
Oh, yeah.
I had that deck, the Volterra.
That's a great board.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was
See, I
actually.
still like that.
I was just a kid. I'm just butt boarding on it. I'm knee boarding
Right.
on it. I think I was knee boarding and hit a crack and busted my forehead open. I didn't start skating until 91.
But you had that before, but that was just a leftover thing somehow. It was just
That was
there.
just my. I always had a board around me.
Okay, but that's from '80s.
This is
Yeah,
100%.
that's like definitely
100%.
So you just found that in someone's garage and like
No. I bought from Toys R Us. I mean, this is what
They
I'm
kept
saying though.
selling.
Is this is Back to the Future had a lot of
Right.
impact on a lot of people. I I always had a board around me.
Yeah.
But I consider when you actually start to skate is like when you're starting to like try tricks. Like that's my perception of it.
Yeah,
Because I don't like if I had a board around
Okay.
me when I was like 14 years old to 13, I'm just butt boarding. Is that really like
Okay.
you're the start of your skateboarding journey?
Okay, well, with
I don't
that,
know.
With that thought,
I don't consider it.
Okay,
that.
well, because when people say when's my first skateboard, so in the '70s, because well, I'm getting old.
But see, you start skating in '84.
Well, now I'm going to say what you just said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you really started skateboarding. That's when you saw the
Right
fire.
when I started doing that, but
Yeah.
you just said what we're going to go to. Like, so in the '70s or something, I remember I was at grandma's house, and there was this blue plastic board, a freeformer, double kick, and I play with it in the grass. I just play with it in the grass, like, what is this thing? My brother's on a big wheel. My sister's on a hula hoop. What is this thing? Sometimes we put those cans on our feet and be like, yeah. But there was a skateboard showed up out of nowhere. I'm playing with it in the driveway in the grass, and then I go inside, and I remember we're in Kansas at this time. Now I lived in Kansas before Minnesota, so I was born in Kansas, but my skateboarding was born in Minnesota. So whenever someone's like, "Where are you from?" I say Minnesota because that's where my skateboarding was born.
100%.
Okay.
Okay.
So, but so then I was playing on this blue board, and I go inside, and on TV is one of these '70s movies. And I remember watching this movie, and I was like, "Hey, Grandma, are these all girls?" Because everybody had long blonde hair. California dreaming, and in Kansas this didn't exist. So I was like, "Grandma, are these girls?" And she's just like, she's cooking something. "Yeah, I think so," and walks away. And I was like, "Skateboarding's for girls? Huh? Weird. What is this thing? You know?" And that was it. So that's just, I don't know.
That's
So-
your first. That's what I'm saying though. Like you say you started skating at '84.
Yeah.
And that's when you, I assume you started like discovering the P.I.S.S park and,
Well-
and started to actually try to
Right.
do this
Well-
thing.
Well, we saw people, there was a ramp and we saw people dropping in and we saw people doing all this stuff. And that's what started it. So I went to this ramp and I remember I was like, "Can I skateboard?" And they're like, "Yeah, but you need pads and a helmet." You need pads and a helmet. And I was like, "Why?" I'm like, "Because you're going to get hurt." And I was like, "Okay, because can I skate your ramp?" "Yeah, but you can't skate without pads and a helmet." So I went home and told my mom, I was like, "Hey, I need pads and a helmet." She's like, "Why?" Because like, "I'm going to get hurt. I'm going to get hurt." And she's like, "What?" So
That's your helmet.
pads and a helmet.
That
Yeah.
thing is ancient, bro.
It's like a hockey helmet almost.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
that's what, because
Yeah, there was no like skateboard helmet.
there was.
Oh, was
I mean,
there?
oh, yeah. But I mean, that was still a late bloomer. You didn't know the difference of just all you had to do is grab a helmet.
This is what
could
you had
take-
access to.
You could take a baseball helmet over there or whatever and be like, "I got a helmet."
For
you
sure.
know?
For sure.
So
I would assume this is kind of what your board looked
there
like.
it is. That's it. My
Yeah.
first board. I still have one today. Yeah.
See?
See, we've all had that though. What I'm saying is like your interest got caught in '84, where
Right.
you were like
Well-
intrigued by it.
Well, we saw the culture. And I guess at these ages, like, when does something catch your attention? I say, maybe it's different now. Well, actually, it's way different now because there's these young kids that are doing 900s at age 4, age 3. But for me, 10 years old, all of a sudden I started, like, finding something more. Like, this is... And then all of a sudden a magazine showed up. Like, what is this magazine? And so...
Totally.
And then it just all... How do you lock into something at your age? Was it baseball? Was it football? Was it this? I tried to lock into all those, but it couldn't happen because I was just this late bloomer kid. I was too weak, and I wanted to be a baseball player. That's what I wanted to be, but the coach was always like, "Okay, class, see what Darren's doing wrong. See what he's doing wrong. See what he's doing wrong," and it just started deflating me. Like,
Oh, dang. Yeah,
no, man,
I feel you.
no. years later, I look at it like, Coach, you should have just kept throwing me the ball because I would have done it.
Exactly.
But you were telling me to do it your way. If I would have done it my way, you should have let me do it my way.
Got the ill stance.
I know that's ill. I've never seen a stance like that before.
No, they send these people out all over the world like, this is going to become the best baseball player that wasn't coached, that just learned his own technique. I always say this to people like, do you think they told Jimi Hendrix, you're playing the guitar wrong?
He's playing it backwards.
And they must have said that. Like,
or upside down.
They must
right?
have said, like, that's not how you play the guitar. And he's like, no, that's not how you play the guitar.
That's how I play.
So skateboarding, I think, was the same way. Anything, I think, the same way. Once you find it your way, you make the magic. But if you're coached and it still works, because like, let's talk about classically trained piano. I get it. So you're trained as a piano player, but how do you break out of that? So we look at skateboarding today, coach, and it's still working. But how do you break out of that? Because now if all these coaches like 900, 900, 900, 900, 900, 900, how do you break out of that? Well, now you got to do 1080. Yeah, but where is the music of this? Where is that vibration of like originality, which just comes out of your body of, this is rock and roll. What are we doing? This is something different. You know?
I get what you're saying, bro. You got a real deep point.
I almost think that skateboarding nowadays is like, I don't know. Yeah, it's like I'm going to do a bigger rail and a bigger rail and a bigger rail and a longer rail and a longer rail. It's like kind of outdoing yourself.
And I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it.
Please.
I think handrails are starting to get boring.
Well, that's kind of my point. Is like
they all look the same.
Yeah, it's like
you could do a 300 stair rail now. It's like, nah.
Right.
All vert ramps are the same.
Well, that's true too. That was a brilliant thing right there.
But I think as a kid, that's why I kind of never. It was not accessible to skate vert ramps, but it all looked the same. And then street skating just always looks so different.
Wow, I like this angle. You guys just hit me with the same jab. Okay, so now this is.
But it's also hard too.
This is jujitsu.
Oh, no, yeah.
This is okay. You're right, because vertical skateboarding was like, it took such a discipline. Because, well, so does street skating.
For sure.
Okay, but I mean, I just guess like when I first started skateboarding, I had this thing again, like everyone was a character, and then also like, did you hear what? Natas Kaupas rode a wall. What?
Yeah.
This is breaking ground stuff. Yeah. So I guess skateboarders today are still breaking ground, but now I'm just, maybe it's probably because I'm old and I don't care, because it's not breaking ground. It is breaking ground. It's a 900. It's a 20,000 stair handrail, but it's just
well, they're doing 1080s on like a mega ramp and stuff now. They're doing Michi Brusco did more than a 1080, right?
I like Michi. I think he's great. But there's the little Japanese kid that he's even doing. I think he's going to throw in 3 more.
He did. Yeah, he did like 2 900s in a row, right?
God,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
So,
but I understand what you're saying though. It's like the as a viewer. Because I'm not doing a fucking rail, right? But as a viewer, you just see like, oh, what's longer? How
have you ever done rails yet?
I mean, no, I don't like them.
What's the longest rail you've done?
2 stair. No,
I was like, that would be hard. A 2 stair rail.
That was the hardest rail I've ever done.
It was a 75-foot handrail.
I've done a 10 stair. That was, for me, that was going out of my league. But like
13.
About 9, 10.
13's the most I've ever done. See, there it is.
Oh,
he rode the wall.
That was groundbreaking, but I guess it's all groundbreaking.
It's all the first time this has happened.
But that's the first time this has ever happened. This is like, that is groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's a 300. I don't know. Maybe we're looking too far into this.
We are looking too far, but maybe we should look too far into this, because now where's it going to go?
Right.
Well, every now and then you see something that pops like whoa, okay, but it gets mixed in with so much other stuff out there.
Tell me what that is. What was the last thing you saw? Like, wow.
I saw that Yuto Horigome did a nollie 270 heel flip to board slide or whatever you want to say, and it like I just never would have thought of anyone doing that in my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe this is the right way to say this. I'm becoming desensitized to the 30 stair rail, the 40 stair rail, the 50 stair rail, the 60 stair rail. Now it's just like, oh, they just did way more. And they just grinded farther and longer than they did last video I saw.
I guess it's like, what's next? For me, as far as street skating goes, the last thing that will pop in my head was Alexis, Skate Mafia. He did that backside Smith around the plane.
Oh, yeah.
So that caught my attention. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that was
cool.
And also, too, another thing that, I mean, like I said, I don't skate vert. I dropped in once. Yeah. Jimmy Wilkins, if you could watch any person that skates, different, whatever they skate, you could look at him and be like, that's different.
Well, it's like he's skating street.
Well,
Yes.
see, Jimmy,
On vert.
Jimmy
He
Wilkins.
looks at it different.
Well,
all day.
I don't think he's skating street on vert. That's
No,
crazy.
yeah.
But I like that.
But you understand? But go ahead. Go
He's
ahead,
got
please.
that. He's got that. I mean, it's like he's playing music, and that's what it is. He's playing this violin or he's playing this thing. He's pulling the chords of himself, and it's just like, what is that? It's coming out of his body. He's not
Yeah.
doing it. It's not doing it because this is what he needs to do, or this is where skateboarding's going, or this is how I stay on top of it because this is where it's going. It's just real. It's like it's an expression, and that's what skateboarding was for us. It was an expression, an extension of it. And so maybe all these kids today, like, it is an expression still, but hey, kid, when your dad's in the corner saying you need to do this, you need to do that, you need this, is it an expression? Oh man,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
he
what-
just
I know
skates
what you're
different,
saying.
bro. This
It's.
is
I always
not
thought of skating as like
normal.
dancing, and if like you can dance that special way, people can see it. Like Gustav Tonneson, he's a guy out in Europe, and he's like, we watch him. It's like, no
man.
one can skate like him.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, but this
no,
is next.
Jimmy's the great. Well, see, then you got Max Schaff. And see-
amazing.
Yeah.
Never.
And to me, Max also he's a musician, or he just pulls the chords differently. So we're back to, it's just a vert ramp. It's just a vert ramp. Okay, so how do you make a vert ramp look different? That's a good question. I don't know, but they do.
Right.
They do it differently because they're just not robotic. It's just, again, it's just oozing out of their bodies. Like,
Right.
You know, I mean, again, with street skating today, how many street skaters are there? Thousands and thousands. How are you going to break out of that? I'm glad I'm not one of those. Are you kidding me?
No,
I
real
know what
talk.
you're saying. Yeah.
No, I wanna- I
like
wanna
try to come
see-
up in this industry.
I
Like,
want to see
yeah,
the.
yeah.
I want to see the street vampire.
Oh, he exists.
Okay.
I've been
13
skating-
stair rail, right?
Yeah, but I've been skating street recently still.
Okay.
I've been enjoying it, yeah.
Where's the video part?
Oh, it's all on Instagram now.
Uploaded right away.
Thanksgiving, my Instagram part was street skating.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Blessed us with some street skating.
I still, so I love skateboarding so much. When I started again, it was skateboarding. It didn't matter. Vert skating was where I wanted to get to, but it was all part of it. Nardis Coppas, Mark Gonzalez, Neil Blender, like what? It's skateboarding.
It was skateboarding.
We'll throw Johnny Cop in there, and Lance Mountain, and it's like, but we did. There's this like skateboarding. I loved it so much that I did all of it. But vertical skateboarding for me was the highest thing I wanted to do for some reason. I don't know why. But I remember I called my friends like, hey, you want to go to the skate park today? Like, we're going street skating. Okay, I'll call you back. Call my other friends. No, not today. Not today. So where we go street skating at? And I'd go street skating with them. But
Right.
I still loved it. I still was doing, because when Matt Hensley showed up and all that stuff, it was just like, all you had to do is skate down the sidewalk and do really rad stuff. Wow. This is cool. So see, I just love skateboarding so much. All of this, like, it was skateboarding. So it almost didn't exist. Vert was the highest. Okay, so this is where it started. Lance Mountain, Bones Brigade video show. This is the thought process for my head was like, this is skateboarding. You skated down the street to go skate a back air pool. Then you skated more street to go to the skate park. And then you skated more street to go to the vert ramp. And then you skated more street to go watch Rodney Mullen. You just kept skateboarding, but it was all part of this thing. So that's what we pretended. Like, this is called skateboarding. You did it all. But for some reason, the hierarchy was the vert ramp. And I take this analogy for myself. Like, when someone's like, you're just a vert skater. Like, no, I went to the park. I played on the swing sets. Woo! Catching air. I played on the merry-go-round and round. That's a pool.
Got dizzy.
And I played on the balance beam, the handrail.
Okay.
I went and played on all these obstacles. It was the same thing.
Right. Let's go back now, because you said you came out to California at a certain point in time. Now, what was the journey to get there? Like, how did you? Because you said it was before Creature was who?
51.
No, SMA.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, go ahead.
Before that, still. But
Right,
yeah.
but so how? What led you out to go out to California? Here's this kid in Minnesota.
Okay, so in the beginning for us, we had other people like Dave LaRue. We had people in front of me that were turning pro and doing this stuff, and Eric Frolins, and I had gods. Okay, I mean, for me in Minnesota, there was this guy Eric Frolin and Dave LaRue, Justin Lynch as well. But they were gods. They flew in the air so high, and they were sponsored by stuff, and all of a sudden these things like, but their path was NSA contests. So you had to enter these contests, make it, and all of a sudden you're in. So then we did the same process. Like, I got to do an NSA contest. And I think the first one I did was 91, and I made it, but I broke my wrist, and my hand was like this. So I made it to regionals. But I made it. My wrist was like this, and I remember all of a sudden I was screaming because my hand was broken. So see.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, that's skateboarding. Yeah, but my first contest it was in Chicago, Rockford, Illinois. I made it. And you made it, Darren. You're going to regionals, but I broke my wrist. But I remember, this is side notes on it, but all of a sudden, like, I broke my wrist. Call an ambulance. And the boss sticks were like, no, come here, Darren. We're going to split your arm. There was a pizza box. They took the pizza out with all the pepperonis. They put my hand in this box. And I remember there's cheese and pizza. And I'm like, what? No, I'm screaming. No, call an ambulance. Like, no, one of you guys are going to drive him to the hospital. Like, no. So anyways, that's a side note. Very traumatic.
Did you have a piece of pizza though? That's my question.
There was cheese and everything everywhere. So anyways,
obviously it didn't heal well because you could.
So here's the thing. So then all of a sudden they put this cast on. It's from here to here. I make it. I go home and like, Darren, you made it to regionals. And I was like, but I can't skate.
You had it all the way up to your shoulder.
Oh yeah. So but I was like, I can't skate. But there was a local contest. I skated in that. I caught a screw. I caught a screw with my chin.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and then the nurse calls my mom, like, we have your son in the hospital. And she's like, no, you don't. And she's like, oh, yeah, we do. Like, no, you don't. He's got a cast on. Like, we got him in the hospital here. He cut his chin and we got stitches on him. Mom comes down. She's pissed. I was like, what do you think? This is going to stop me?
Yeah.
I'm a skateboarder.
Right.
I just made it to regionals. I'm going pro someday. This isn't going to stop me. I'm going pro. And I remember the nurse was all pissed too. Like, what happened to you? Like, I'm skateboarding. And she's like, what? And so she didn't put any Novocaine in my chin.
No.
She's trying to teach me a lesson. Oh, it taught me a lesson. I can't be stopped. I love it. No, I want to skateboard so badly. So then we did more contests. We did a 1992, which was in Houston, Texas. I made it all the way to finals, and now this is 92, so it's almost over with. It's almost over with. My generation, almost all of it, except for because it was coming back in a different vibration.
Well, Rocco was
exactly
leading the charge,
and I personally think Rocco's great. I think he's one of the raddest dudes out there. I've never met him in my life, but he changed it, and I like it. Like
he saved skateboarding in many ways.
He did a lot for skateboarding, for sure, and a lot of people under that umbrella.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about when Vert was going out. I mean, you weren't on Creature yet. No. This was coming up though, pretty close. This is a couple years away.
Yeah.
Where were you at this point? 92-ish.
So we're still going. We're making contests. It's almost over with.
Yeah.
And but we're making it. I'm making it. But also,
are you getting sponsored by now? What's going on?
Okay, hold on. So it's slimming out though, because the generation for me, there was So in 1990, 91, 92, 93, you know how many skaters there were in existence? Again, like almost where we are today, which sounds strange, but almost where we are today. Like even in the vertical world in 91. Whoa, this many people. Districts was in my region or whatever was Minnesota, Milwaukee, Chicago, and then you had this other south, and then you had Florida and all this stuff. So, and then you go into regionals, and they put all these groups together. And then you went to finals, which was all of the United States together. But so you just had so many people, but there was hundreds. By the time I started getting in that envelope, it was slimming down 20, 30, 40, 60.
Less competition.
I took it. even in the end there, like in 92, I was like, we're not going to do regionals. There's not enough people. You're just going straight to finals. I'm going straight to finals.
How'd you do?
Sixth. Well, not in Houston first. So Houston, there was still a lot. I think so Matt Dove won it, and he was I think Matt Dove's one of the best vert skaters still today, very talented. Paul Zitzer was second. I remember his first time I went to Houston. It was brand new to me. Stayed in a really crappy hotel. I used to hate Houston. I still almost, sorry, Houston. I love Houston. It's just
maybe the Astros you don't like. I'm just kidding.
Houston is just a very tough place for me because I was a kid and we stay in this hotel and the TV had a big old chain around it because you can't steal it.
Yeah, okay.
And also, I remember I was like, I see this bed in the corner. I'm like, this is my bed. And I look under the bed. There's chicken wings under it. There's mice and rats. I'm like, oh no, I should have took the bed not in the corner. So Houston was very tough, and I was just a kid again. Like, this is a tough place, man, very tough. But so didn't do so well there. But the next year we did it again, and then this is the last NSA contest ever. It's in Encinitas, California, and I got 6th place there. Andy McDonald won. Chet Childress second. And that was it. And also, vert skating's done. No more NSA either. So that ladder
That was the last contest.
for NSA, because that's how you used to get turned pro. You had to
100%.
You had to go through the NSA, even the street. I mean, Lance Conklin's. There was this skater from New York.
Street skater?
From that rode GS trucks. He won one?
Mark Heinzen?
No, Heinzman's
Heinzman's
there though. Heinzman's a couple of
definitely.
years before that. There was this.
From New York. Why am I?
No, not from New York, Chicago. Rode for GS trucks.
Oh,
Come on, Raj.
Raj, this
Come on,
definitely
Raj.
Get this.
Come on.
Noah Selasnik?
Noah
Nope.
Jesse something.
Yes,
Jesse
you got
New-
it. You
Jesse
did it.
Newhouse?
Jesse Newhouse.
Jesse Newhouse.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
You guys
Teamwork right there.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Jesse fucking was legendary.
Okay, but he just won these contests, and
Yeah.
again, this is our avenues of how you get to be pro, and this is you had to. There was almost no other way, I guess, for us to turn pro through skateboarding. Maybe before our generations, we'd have to talk to Lance Mountain and Lacero, and they'd be like, "I don't know, it was the same thing almost, but it probably wasn't NSA. It was just you had to."
No, everybody was doing the contest thing. I mean, you got to a point where, like, I mean, I think Tony Hawk entered a pro contest and wrote his name down as a pro. He pretty much turned himself pro.
But what about like Nanas Kappas and Mark Gonzalez? Were they doing that stuff?
No.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they were skating contests,
Right.
But I don't think they went through like
They didn't have to. So
NSA. Yeah,
okay.
You guys
I
not
don't think
watching
they went through NSA, but I mean,
a form of contest, 1,000%. I don't know what they were.
yeah.
But was that what made them pro? I think.
I don't
think
think
they
so.
were so pioneer at that
Yeah.
time that it just was.
Street
like,
skating wasn't like that, was it?
No, I mean,
Like-
that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah, it wasn't like you go to the
'cause it was-
contest and you're pro.
It was almost a joke.
Yeah.
Sorry, but they considered it a joke. Like street contests were.
Savannah Slamma.
No, they
Right.
were, but those were. I mean,
Oh yeah, look at.
I saw those videos quite a bit, and I thought those were really rad contests.
What did
But that's
you
just
feel-
My outside perspective.
What did you? What was it like for you to see street skateboarding come in to like what you and then kind of take over?
Okay. I like this question because I came from a generation where we pushed. We had rails and plastic on our boards, and you'd push, and you'd go faster when you pushed, and all of a sudden everything changed. Wheels got small, and I remember pushing down the street, and as soon as you stopped pushing, you lost your speed. And then all of a sudden wax showed up, and everybody waxed everything. The wheels were so tiny. I was getting very frustrated because I was like, I started 1984. Even on verts, like all of a sudden I started getting in the air this high, and all of a sudden it shifted. Wheels were this small. Start over, Darren.
Was there a vert ramp that you could still skate though?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But it was
okay,
even
okay.
street skating, like everything. Start all over, Darren, because everything you just learned, it's over with.
But also, you're seeing these vert skaters turn into street skaters.
Some, but most of them just left.
Yeah,
True. But I mean, I don't think a lot of them could do it. Like Steve Caballero turned to street cab, and he actually pulled it off.
Well, yeah, but Cab had already 20 to 30 years of experience.
100%.
He-
But I don't think a lot of vert skaters pulled it off though. That's
think
why
they-
they were out.
I think
That's,
they could.
Outside looking in.
There was a
agree.
lot. There
I
was,
think they could do it, but a lot of them at that point they're probably like, dude, I've already been doing this my whole life. I'm not going to switch my whole thing.
I think a lot of them
Right.
tried though. A lot of them
Well,
tried.
even-
Steve
okay,
Barra.
there we go.
There you go.
Steve Barra was a good example of that.
There we go, because Steve Barra was his nickname was Steve Yogi Barra, and he was a vert skater from Nebraska, so he was in my district.
Okay.
Oh,
You were
okay.
going up against
There
this
you
guy.
go.
No, there was no beating him. Our eyes
Really?
he was.
He was really good though. Real talk.
His eyes.
Channy,
my
too.
eyes were wide open, like that's Steve Barra. That's Steve Barra. That's whoa, that's him. He lived in Nebraska. I'm from Minneapolis. Minneapolis is better than Nebraska. But Steve Barra was still like, whoa, and he had sponsors. He wrote for Blockhead. He wrote for all this
Sure.
stuff, and so I mean that was the
He
thing.
was already doing it.
Yes.
And how did he get it? Like, well, he was also better than me, and so that's the whole thing. Is like, yeah. But that's what we were following that. But he went into street skating, and I mean, and then years later when I was like, hey, Yogi, Steve Barra, come skate vert with me. No.
He
He changed. No, then he was like,
he's
nah, I don't even skate vert.
Here's Steve Barrows
Oh, there he
Amazing.
is.
from Nebraska. Oh, well, he's skating street.
So
there,
he was
though.
just a skateboarder.
right.
Yes, he did it all.
Damn,
so
I've never
funny,
even
man.
seen this
I don't think a
old
lot of
footage.
people have.
What?
I've never seen this old of
There he is
footage,
skating
man.
vert.
See, this is what we grew up on.
Yeah,
this was
is-
him.
No doubt.
And
No
he,
doubt.
if you were in the video then, for us, that was the hugest thing. Like,
Same age, relatively.
I believe so.
Isn't that funny? I grew up with, I mean, like Guy Mariano, Jerron, like all these guys, but they looked they were the same age as me, but they looked so much older.
yeah,
they
no
looked so
doubt.
much bigger than life. You
But they
know?
were the same age?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, maybe a year older, but
they
still.
Right. But they were larger. Like, they were
Yes,
sponsored guys.
I know.
Yeah.
Danny and Colin though too were phenomenal
okay.
street skateboarders.
Well, I mean,
true.
Danny and Colin. So Danny for me was the first one to ever. He was the kid, like all of a sudden opening the magazines, like who's this 16, 13-year-old kid?
Killing
13.
it. Yeah.
And that gave me hope almost. Like he's 13, but he was also doing 541 foots, and I was just learning frontside airs. It's funny because I have a board. I still have my original board. Should have brought it. It's a Danny Way board, and he came to my house one day and I was like, "Hey, Danny, I learned frontside airs on this board," and he just laughed, and I was like, "It's crazy because I learned frontside airs on this board, and he was doing stalefish 540s on that board.
Yeah.
It was his pro model, like, wow, man, how advanced was he? Like, oh man, so."
Yeah.
So if you were if vertical skating is dying, is dead, right? And we're talking like 92-ish, then going on 93. We're getting on SMA, then Creature in 94.
Yep.
But you kept doing your thing. You
Yeah.
kept doing the vert skating no matter what. You didn't try to transition into street skating. You did your thing, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
But then that's kind of why in my head that Creature was like, wait a minute, you're a vert skater?
Right.
In 94.
Yeah.
They almost
They almost
They were
embraced
surprised.
it. They almost embraced it because this doesn't exist no more.
Yeah.
right.
Which gave me the avenue. Because this skateboarding doesn't exist. No one does this no more. And how old are you? And you're getting there? This doesn't exist no more. It's over with, kid. You're holding Return of the Vert Monster. It's going to return.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden it became this thing of there was just us token vert skaters. So all of a sudden every team in 94, 95, here we go, 96, it started happening.
100%.
That every team had to have a token vert skater.
At least one.
Yeah.
One guy.
That's for sure.
Girl had Colin McKay for a second.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A hot second.
Frazier went here, Hendricks went here,
Max
Colin
Schaff.
here, Max Schaff.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
also, so it gave us this opportunity. And then here came the Brazilians.
Bob.
Bob.
I love them, and I can hate them as well. They came in like, no. Oh, they're so good. It's like Danny Way again. Like, I learned frontside it. Never mind. It's over with.
Is Lincoln you with it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, bro. They came in strong.
There was another dude. Oh man, I'm blowing all the names right now, but yeah,
He's on the hooked up.
the big. He does huge.
Oh my gosh.
He goes big. I know. what
Wait
you're
a
talking
minute. You don't remember a Brazilian's name? Hold on a second. We know all their names but the thing is they
I think it's
flooded
Sandro
it.
Diaz.
They
There it is.
Oh yeah,
Sandro
Sandro
Diaz.
Diaz. Thank you,
There
Raj.
he
Thank
is.
you. Raj is a savior tonight.
Yes,
man.
he
Thank
is.
Well,
God.
he came in just maybe a couple steps later because
Sure,
it was
sure.
Bob
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Lincoln, and then Sandro came in after. But even though Sandro was probably there the whole time, and but he just got here a little bit later.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, 100%. So now, but Creature's embracing it. Now you're the token vert guy, right?
Yeah.
You get your first ad. That wasn't the return of the.
Yeah,
that wasn't your first ad though, was it? The return of the vert.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I went on a trip with Jason Adams, Russ Pope, Barker Barrett, and it was really
You knew these guys
No,
already.
no.
No, you haven't even met any of these guys. They're just putting you
pretty
on the
sick.
team out of a video that you shot of one session.
They like my nose. What a beautiful thing, because it was so scary because all of a sudden, hey, we're going to Woodward Skate Camp. You're going to meet us there. What? So I had my friends, Sam Hitz, my crew, and Greg Witt. I was like, hey, I need to get to Woodward. I'm like, we're going to go. So I get in their van. We drive to Woodward.
Pennsylvania.
And I'm going to jump out and jump in these guys. I don't even know these guys.
You're gonna ditch your homies.
Yeah.
Oh, I know somebody else that ditched their homies to
I
get
did
in.
it too. All day.
We all did.
I wouldn't change a thing.
We all did.
Did they know that you were going to ditch them?
Yeah.
Okay. You were getting a ride out, but they were going to go skate. Woodward, they're stoked.
They knew that this was going to be a cool opportunity for you, right?
No, they didn't know.
They didn't know that.
It was a cool. We were all just kids going for it. How far does the trail go? We don't know. Well, I'm gonna jump out of the van because I'm meeting these guys. Like, hey, Darren, we're gonna go too. Like, let's go as far as we can. But that was the acknowledgement. It was like,
sorry, buddies, I'm going for a little further than you guys.
hey, see you guys. It went back full circle later. But
Okay.
Maybe I'll look at that avenue and I'll probably think about that tonight. Like, oh my God, he's right. Like,
Well, it just reminds me of Jerron's story where he literally went to Powell Skate Zone with his buddies, but then the blind dudes were like, hey, come with us. And Jerron's like, later, guys.
I mean, again, those opportunities don't come around too often, and I was definitely intrigued.
are you still friends with the friends that you ditched?
Of course.
Okay, so see,
one of them, not at the moment, but yes,
Okay.
still close to him.
I have a friend that I ditched one time, Jam and Jay, and I didn't mean to. He came out to California with
Jam
me.
and Jay.
Oh yeah, he's fucking a brilliant skater, and he builds stuff in Minnesota. So it's funny because I tell him like, "You've made a career off skateboarding," but he didn't go where I went. But he came out. He drove me out to California. We were driving across the United States in his car. I was like, "Hey, come to California with me." He's like, "I'd love to." Okay, you're driving. So he drove me. His car broke down. Halfway through, we're in Vegas. Car broke down. We call it. He's like, "I got AAA." We call a tow truck. It can only tow us 100 miles. So it tows 100 miles, and the tow truck driver like, "Here's the trick, guys. Push your car across the street. Call AAA again." So we did it 3 times.
Wow.
Now this is where it gets a little crazy, and this is part of my life, part of my journey. So the last part of the trip, we get the tow truck. He puts it on the truck. It's on the top. It's not towed behind now. Flatbed. And he's like, "All right, guys, you guys can stay in the back up there, but just stay down." We're kids, man, and we may have took some hallucinogenics. And we're just looking out the window like, wow.
These guys are up on a tow truck bed, sitting
Just
in the
bugging out on
car,
people.
bugging out.
I've made a lot of mistakes in my life.
Well, what was the mistake about that? You were just... It was
Young.
dangerous?
I was just young and
Okay.
like,
Well,
just,
he doesn't finish the story yet.
no, I mean, we didn't know.
That was it.
But looking back on it, like, you guys took acid in the back of a car?
But you weren't driving. It was on a tow truck.
Well, yeah, but it's a movie. Like, this is a movie. This is Fear and Loathing.
Wait, so you didn't do anything crazy? You just did that?
Wait, did you get back to California?
Yes.
On the tow truck?
And
Where did they drop you off?
At my friend Greg Witt's house, drops it off, and we're just still frying. And, oh my God, we're in California. So, see, my story just goes so far. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I'm ashamed of.
But it's you. It's who you are, man.
I'm not ashamed of it at all.
Yeah.
It was a great time. This is a young kid, 16, 17, trying to figure it out. Like I said, skateboarding can get you into trouble, but if you love skateboarding so much, it'll get you out of trouble. You have to learn these avenues of life. Like,
It's a great motto.
you know, I mean,
Yeah.
I love skateboarding so much. There was a time when all of a sudden I was like, now I'm riding for 151. We'll get there later. But all of a sudden, Hell's Angels would show up next to me. Last call at the bar. Hell's Angels, 2 sides. You're that one guy. I'm like, yeah. They liked my jacket. It said, "Live to win, born to lose, live to win." And they're like, "You ride a different horse than us, but you like us." I was like, "Okay. Hey, we're gonna have you want to come to the clubhouse after this? We're having a party. There's a bunch of girls." And we're like, "Yeah, okay." So I went to the clubhouse of the Hells Angels, and I almost liked it for a second, and then I started catching myself like, "This is not where I want to be.
You're going to go down a different road.
I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I want to go skateboarding. I want to go skateboarding tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day." Sorry, Hells Angels, because you're going to take me to jail.
That was a different door that opened right there.
But they're going to take you down a road that doesn't involve skateboarding.
Yes.
That's the thing,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
That's the end of the day. And I think a lot of skaters can actually like identify with that statement right there, is that it can get you into trouble, but it can get you out of trouble.
If you love it
because
enough.
yes,
Yeah.
100%. We got to go back to ditching your friends.
Okay.
You're in the van. They're driving you out. You're meeting the Creature team at Woodward, PA, I assume, right? PA.
So I meet Jason Adams and Barker Barrett and
Legends. Straight up.
and I was just so stoked. I mean, I'm blushing right now when I think about him. Like my cheeks start to like, God, I can't even.
No words.
It was insane. These guys were in the magazines. Whoa, I'm getting in the van with them. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. I don't know what to do.
How old were you at that point?
Again, 16, but I was a late bloomer. By the time I was 16, I was really only 13. You know, I mean, I was a late bloomer. I was a skateboarder. I was just, and I look back, like, I'm so fortunate to be a late bloomer. Oh, so you didn't get laid till you're, That's right. That's right. So you didn't.
You're still waiting, right?
Absolutely.
As he takes a sip of his drink. So you meet all these guys. I mean, because a lot of people kook it, right? They get in the van. They
Some do.
Yeah. Obviously, you didn't.
Well, maybe I had enough history of.
You had the elders.
Well, I had enough experience in my life of stuff. I had Sam Hitz and Al Parton and the Hesh crew, and we lived in an asbestos warehouse for skateboarding. We smoked a lot of weed, and we were just these kids making something happen. So when I met these guys, they're from California, but we're from the Midwest. And the thing is, the Midwesterns, we were migrators. We had to go here, 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 here. We're from California. We're not from California. We're from the middle of America. So if you love skateboarding, so the first trip I had ever did, was it before that? Yeah, before that, I went to Florida in 1990 something to go see Frazier. Frazier doesn't even know me. Vert skateboarding is completely dead at this time. It's gone. It's done. And we go to Florida, Tampa, skate park at Tampa. Before it was skate park at Tampa. It is skate park at Tampa. The ramp's in the middle of the thing. We meet Schaefer. We meet Frazier.
The half pipe was still there at this point?
That's
Inside?
all that was
That's
there.
all that was there. Gotcha.
Nothing
Okay.
else. Montesi was building a flat bank in the corner. They didn't
John
care,
Montesi.
They didn't care about street skating. I mean, he did, but Frazier and Schaefer, they didn't. Let's put a vert ramp. This is why we're building this warehouse. And then it turned later, same warehouse. But we saw Frazier skate in 1993. And his board was this small. His wheels were this small. And he was like complaining about his paycheck as well. I get a paycheck for $200. But it didn't matter because he just kept going and going, and that gave us hope. Now, this is vert skating completely dead.
Sure.
It's gone. Everyone's gone. Everybody, Fedges, Grossos, everybody, they're all gone. Jason Jesse said, where are they? They're all gone. There's only a handful, and Frazier was one of them. So I always like to say Frazier's this dude that he held the castle.
How'd you feel at that point?
I felt great.
No, but everything was gone though. Like
And
your
then-
everything that you were about was like gone, and here comes this. There's this whole new thing going on, and who knows at this point if vert is ever going to see the light of day again.
But then we found Frazier, and he was so good and just whoa. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it's dead because when we first started skateboarding,
it's not dead to you.
exactly.
Yeah, to those that are doing it.
Right.
For
It
sure.
never meant this or this. I didn't get into skateboarding to become. We saw it was a backyard. It wasn't an arena. I saw the backyard. Like there's 3 people here. There's 2 girls. One has red hair. One has a nose ring. This is a weird place. I like it here.
It smells.
Exactly.
There's a scent here.
There's something here. But it wasn't this huge. It wasn't for, look at me, even
Right.
though it was kind of part of that. Like, I mean, the first time I got a photo in the magazine, how excited I was. But I look back on it like, it was for me. Skateboarding's for me, for you, for you. You didn't do it for them, did you? Right. So even the same thing when I got the photo in the magazine, I went to 7-Eleven, I bought it. Oh my God, I got a photo magazine. I didn't realize the implications might be the word. Like I didn't know that people in Germany were seeing this, and all of a sudden I started becoming Darren Navarrette or the vertical monster, vertical vampire. I just saw, I made it.
Right.
I made it.
Yeah.
It's for me. And so skateboarding always was just, and people could say that's selfish. No, skateboarding's for you. It's for you. But coach, keep coaching them. Keep training them.
Yeah.
It's for.
It's a beautiful thing that
No, we
what
just
you
never
said,
had
though.
that, so it's hard for us to understand that. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
why should
if
we
anything,
understand that?
of
You
course,
know? Right.
that's their journey.
Right. Exactly.
You know, but us having that essence of just looking at somebody and getting inspired by looking at them and trying to go do it and replicate it to a degree,
Yep, absolutely.
or do it on your own.
Well,
the way you were going to
we
do it.
copied them, but you had to make it your own.
Of course.
Okay, so look at that. What you're saying right there to me is, again, music. Do you think some of these musicians go in there to be yes, and some of them just play music, and then they become even they didn't even want to get there. Like we don't even want to get here, but all of a sudden they become it.
That's just what they do.
Right,
Yeah.
and it
Right.
becomes. And I'm sure there's musicians like we're gonna be the next, and maybe
Right.
they don't make it.
Well, that was my skate career. Was like this level was unattainable.
Right.
I'm looking at these guys. I'm seeing you guys, even Eric Koss. I'm seeing in real life. skateboarding right in front of me, but it's unattainable. I'm never going to be there.
But you did.
Yeah.
Of course.
Right.
And
it was almost by happenstance though. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I was gunning for it. I was going for it. Like everything just flowed and went into
Right
place.
place,
You
the right
know what I mean?
time.
Kind of.
Well,
yeah,
that's
for
exactly.
sure.
But I mean, I'm sure there was some stuff, but it's again what stopped you? Nothing.
No.
Because there was nothing to stop you because you were just going for it and whatever happens, happens. And it was like, there was no, the objective was, I'm just going skateboarding.
That's it.
Totally.
Because why? Because I love this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't like, oh my God, one day I'm going to be in the
No.
Olympics.
I
or
want
Street
everybody to
League.
see me.
Yeah.
It was cool to like just meet these people that you saw in the magazines and get together with them and go skate and get photos and get footage. Like that was fun.
But
It almost didn't care about where it came out. But when you saw it, you're like, oh my God, this is insane being in the magazine.
But even those guys probably didn't start with that same thing.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. I mean, we'd have to ask Lance Mountain again. We'd have to be like, hey, Lance, was it about this? And he's probably like, I just wanted to skateboard too. But I also wanted to get to that level of achievement. But I mean, how many people are watching the level of achievement?
Listen, at the end of the day, I think like as a kid growing up and you're seeing everything, like, yes, that is a dream. Pro
Of
skater,
course.
right? You want to be there. You want to be with these guys. But at the same note, again, for me, it was unattainable, right? Like I gave a sponsor me video to Rodney Mullen. Rodney Mullen for blind and video, like, but then
Wait
like a couple months later,
Hold on, I gotta.
Darren,
Whoa.
a couple months later,
I think the word's flabbergasted. You gave a tape to Rodney Mullen.
yes, well, through Tim Dowling, who was filmed for Girl in Chocolate,
So
he
you
already
went,
had
you
stuff.
went straight to the top.
Oh, 100. Darren, come on.
Sometimes you have access. Sometimes you have access.
He had
Right.
access.
I had access. But Rodney Mullen, a couple months later, wanted another tape.
Of course.
I was like, no, I'm no.
Okay.
Why?
That story was really cool until this
But
wasn't.
why did I do that? I don't know, because it just wasn't. It didn't feel like, oh, this is now I have to like work at this thing that I love, and this is now turning into a job. Which then I don't know. It was just a weird thing. I was like, I already gave him a tape. Why do I need to do another thing? It was kind of like, you know, they wanted to sponsor me a video, and you just filmed one session.
Well, I didn't know the rules, and that's the thing is. But again, it came to work for us. Like all of a sudden, this is work. This is work. All of a sudden, I noticed something in vert skateboarding when I became the person. Like, and all of a sudden, we met Grant Britton and Swifts and Luke Ogden's, and you had to shoot a photo. I had to get a photo in the magazine every month, but it was doable.
There was a lot of publications out at that point.
I'm a token vert skater. All I have to do is one. They'll put me in. There's only 10 of us.
Right.
There's only 10 of us. I can get
Slim
it.
pickings. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm on it.
And also my sponsors at the time, Creature Skateboards, Etnies, they paid, so
Let's get it done.
Let's get it done. Let's get the vertical vampire in there.
All he has to do is something. And I remember at that time, though, I didn't actually have the trick. I remember I called Grant, be like, hey, Grant, so I want to film this. I didn't do it. But I would trick myself because, like, here comes Grant. I got to do this photo. You know, I've never done this trick in my life.
Here comes a legend photographer.
Oh, man. And Grant was the hugest because that's what I grew up looking at, like, no way. That's, whoa. So when I first shot with Grant, again, hey, you're that guy. What? Yeah, that's me. And he shot he came and we barely talked. He's like, hey, I'm going to shoot some photos for you because whatever. We shoot a few things, and he's like, hey, so we want to shoot a sequel. What do you got? I was like, half cab, heel flip, indie to fakie. And it's already been done, but I did it, and I did it in 3 tries, and he left. And I remember being like...
So I'd say that again, half cab heel,
Half cab,
indie to
heel flip,
fakie?
indie to fake,
Over the channel
No,
or
no,
just
no,
regular?
just
Okay.
regular.
Okay.
No, there was other people.
Just want to
already
try to
doing it.
visualize
Colin
it.
McKay was probably doing fucking... Oops, sorry, pardon my language.
No,
was
you're
probably
good.
already doing like... Oh, yeah, I got a middle finger on my hat. But he was probably... but he was probably already doing it. Colin McKay's probably already done it. And Sluggo was already doing it. Probably... let's just say 8 years before I did. But anyways, I shot this photo. And then Grant just left. And I remember being like, is he mad at me? Does he not like me? But Grant was like, no, Darren, you did it. You did it in one roll of film. But I was so starstruck with Grant, like, I need to do this now. Go. And he was like, Darren, there was a time when all of a sudden vert skating, like, click, 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 or any skateboarding, click, 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 roll after roll after roll after roll after roll.
Straight up.
Oh, so you shot a sequence of it.
Yes, but
Okay.
I was so nervous. This is my head, and Grant would be like, that's not what happened, Darren. Because all my stories, it's my interpretation. You know, because somebody like, that's not quite how it happened, Darren. I was like, I know, this is the lenses of my eyes. It's Grant Britton.
Trust me, Grant Britton will come on the show and tell a whole different, he'll clarify all this.
Absolutely. And so we got it done in one day or whatever, and it became the centerfold of the magazine. And again, I'm moving up the ladder, like I'm a brand new skater. And all of a sudden, I thought Grant didn't like me, and all of a sudden I look at the magazine, like I had the centerfold.
This Transworld?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a huge thing. That's not the cover, but that's the centerfold.
So wait, he didn't say bye. He just shot it and then
He
left.
said bye, but I was just still like, we're done.
Like that's
we
it?
got it, yeah.
That's it.
But I didn't know that we got it.
Right.
I wanted to do more. Like, oh man, this guy's shot with like Chris Miller and Tony Hawk and all this stuff, and it's over with. I want more. Can you just please stay around a little
You
longer?
made it easy for him. That's basically what happened.
He was stoked. He went home like,
For sure.
Yeah, he was such
Easy
a professional. Like, we're done. I got the photo. I'm
Yeah.
done. It's not that I made it easy for him. It's just like he was just like, okay, we got it. We're done.
right.
I mean,
He's got other skaters to go shoot too, and all that
he
stuff.
was going home. He
He got one for the damn.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
He
well.
got it. Like he's chilling, man. He went to go celebrate a good meal.
Yeah.
You
Oh, yeah,
know? Got
absolutely.
a good little
I
meal.
don't
I
think
think
he
they do the
celebrated.
same. They do the same thing that we do.
Yeah.
When we get a trick and we land it, you know how we feel great at that day.
I don't think
They
Grant.
don't do
I
it-
think
they don't do it the same
I
way?
believe they do, but I think Grant was so high. He was just like, he's just like, okay, no, I'm just gonna
It's
go.
another day.
Let's go get it developed, and this will be. But obviously, they used it for the centerfold.
Yeah, well,
So that's a big deal.
I mean, I was riding for Creature. I mean, that was like the thing. Is like, and so
Yeah, but they're paying for ads at multiple companies. So yeah, I mean, you think that they get a little extra.
A little hierarchy
Yeah.
in that sense.
I would say for me, I look at this opportunity that I had. Like, I wasn't the greatest skateboarder ever. I was not this. But for some reason, I was making it. I don't know why, because I wasn't even that good, really. I mean,
Token vert skater.
exactly.
No,
But now let's look at
It's
this.
a nose.
Okay, but let's look at the token. Let's look at the token vert skaters. Danny Way is not a token vert skater.
Correct.
He's a gold medalist before even the medals existed. Carl McKay's not a token vert skater. So I was just a token.
Look at this though. Come on,
Oh,
token.
dude.
Look at that.
That's a Grant Britton photo.
It's about honestly
photo.
skateboarding back then, especially. It's about like marketing, the way they marketed you, all that stuff. Your look, the way you skated. It's a lot different back then than it is now.
Yeah.
But like, when you think of Creature, when you look at stuff like that, you think of Navarrette. You think of the Vertical Vampire. So
There's a reason that this
Yeah.
happened the way it did, bro.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? So
Absolutely. I
your
believe-
presence on your skateboard was definitely saw by other individuals, and obviously pinpointed it.
and the name Navarrette.
Yeah.
Like that's a pretty. I don't know anyone else with Navarrette.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you a story about names. Okay, this is good, and then I'm gonna use the restroom. But so when I was a kid and skateboarding, I had this poster on my wall, and my father, when skateboarding started showing up in my life, and I started changing my room, like because my room was my room, and also like now I'm hanging stuff up my room. My father comes like, "Son, this is all fake." I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "This is fake. It's trick photography. No one's in the air on skateboards." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, "Son, look at these names. Mountain, Caballero, Hawk. This is like wrestling." And I was like, "What?"
That's so good.
It makes sense though.
I love it.
You
That's
believe
so
him?
good.
Like the names
I
are
didn't-
too
I
good.
didn't- I loved it so much, and then I didn't care for wrestling. I was like, yeah. But I was like, no. But looking back, I'm like, I could see his angle. Like, this is fake. No one has the name Mountain. Hawk.
Yeah.
Even Caballero.
Yeah.
You can't have. So that's Steve Cowboy. His name's Steve Cowboy. This does not exist, son. This is all fake.
Caballero?
I love it, dude.
You know, like it's
Soy?
Soy, and so Soy was, and so I remember like, well, what about Ghetto? And he's like, well, they probably threw him in there just to make it look real.
That's so good. That completed it all right there.
Well, I mean, then you had Blender. All these names were almost fictional names for us kids.
No
Like,
doubt, for sure.
it was almost so fake. Like,
It's like comic book names or something like
Right.
that, or like this.
and Hasoy too.
Yeah.
Like this doesn't exist. And then also in the '90s showed up. We started getting some more stuff. Which made more sense.
Funny.
But
I
it just
know. that is a very peculiar thing based on
Nodus?
this name.
Not us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
all these names were like they did not exist. You did not have a friend down the street named Nodus. You definitely did not have a friend named Lance Mountain. Like that's
Yeah.
Mountain. You had
Chris Roberts.
oh, that's brilliant. What's my friend Chris Roberts?
Just so plain. But like, not really.
My name's Larry.
Oh, that's brilliant. And I love that because It's just the way it is. But
That was great.
it was just, it made no sense. It was totally imaginary thing.
Well, you got
those
a good
names.
name.
Those names at that time definitely were. They stood
Larger
out
than
for
life.
sure.
They were beyond, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the 90s, who has those larger than life names? Obviously, I mean, Costin. I mean, but that's still a name. But Costin was still. I mean,
Yeah. Costin
Yeah.
Muska.
Henry. I mean,
okay, so
Guy Mariano.
early
Mariano,
90s.
yeah.
Early
Okay,
90s.
so let's go. Okay, so when vert skating started dying, or when I was out, but I was still in, who was your favorite? If you had to pick one street skater or three, who were your favorite? In 93.
93?
Yeah, because you said you started skating in 1991.
I started in 91, yeah.
Okay, so in 93, were you
Eric Costin.
Yeah.
He's always been my favorite.
And Guy.
Yeah, Guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guy, especially too, because he looked like me, a little kid.
Okay.
Like, and I related to that,
Okay,
right?
that's-
And he was good.
The same thing
There's-
with Danny Way with me. You related to the little kid. Yeah.
Sure. But Eric Costin was always like,
Oh, yeah.
he is the best
Okay.
for me. Like,
So Eric Costin, when he showed up on my radar, we had no clue who he was, and he went to our districts. I could have won that mini ramp. And Eric Costin, I don't know where he's riding for 8th Street now, but he wasn't. He wasn't quite on the radar. He shows up at my contest that I had to have the possibility of winning, but here comes this California guy. He's riding for 8th Street, like, oh, whoa, what's his name? Eric Costin. And he won it, and deservedly. But I tell him later, like, hey, man, I remember when I first met you in 1992? You came to my contest. Why couldn't you go to your contest?
he was already traveling
Oh, yeah.
to go to
Yeah.
these contests in
8th Street
1991.
and then
8th
101
Street.
right after, shortly after.
Yeah, 8th Street first, and
Yeah,
then, but
8th
he was going to the Woodward in there's one in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
So he was just going all over the place with but that was the thing. But
Did you guys win anything at these contests? Like prize
trophies.
trophies? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
about it.
at my mom's house, I love it because I have all these trophies, and I really like looking at them. This is my first place amateur mini ramp contest. Like I have big
Yeah.
trophies, and I wanted to be a hockey player. Look at my trophy.
I mean, I guess your parents probably were. I mean, you're bringing home. At this age, you're bringing stuff home, right?
Yeah.
Like as you would if you won the baseball tournament.
My father was my mother loved it, but my father was like, son, you're not going to go anywhere with this. Stop skating.
It's a different time back
Yeah,
then.
you need to get a
man.
job. So he was like, you have to get a job. He took my skateboard. My mom would give it back to me, but he'd take my skateboard and put it away. You got to get a job, son. So I went and got a job at a glue factory. And again, I must have been 16, 17, 18 at this time. So I got a job at a glue factory, and my job was to put rubber caps on rubber cement bottles. So basically, I was just huffing glue the whole time.
Oh my gosh.
I made a lot of mistakes. I just wanted to skate.
So you're trying to make some money.
Decent.
I don't want a job.
I know.
I didn't want a job. But I found this job, like, what do you got to do? You just got to put caps on rubber cement bottles. And there was a conveyor belt. Like, it was basically like,
All those smells.
Laverne and Shirley.
it was absolutely.
It's like the rubber cement with like the little.
It was
you,
Laverne
take the cap off and it's got a little brush.
So I'd go home so high, and this is again when I first started finding marijuana and all that stuff. Just a kid, and I'd come home just so high, and my dad's like, "Okay, quit working."
He thought it was a glue.
No, there was a time when he was
It's like this kid's just stoned off of glue.
there was a time when he was like, "Son, again, let's talk about this. What's marijuana do?" I was like, "It helps me skate, helps me draw, it helps me do everything." He's like, "Wrong answer."
Oh, you were open about it.
I didn't know. He pushed on me, and I just told him the truth because I was surrounded by these kids like, SMP, smoke more pot, and those are the generation for me.
SMP.
Reese
Skate
Simpson.
more pavement.
Reese Simpson was the hierarchy in skateboarding. Like, that's Reese Simpson. He put SMP on his boards. Like, what's that mean? And when we found out, that means smoke more pot. What's smoke? Dear. Okay, so for me,
I loved it.
my stories keep going everywhere. I know, but so me, marijuana showed up because someone was like, "You want to skate like Dave LaRue?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Come with me." And those were the guys up in the corner that I was like, "Those are the best dudes here." 8 years later, 5 years later, 4 years later, smoke this. I went back into skateboarding. I'm skating like LaRue. I'm skating like it's working. It didn't do that at all. But in my head,
Meanwhile, he's just still sitting down on the bench. He wasn't even skating.
no, I was skating. That happened later in my life. But
Okay.
at that time, it was just, it's working. It's working. It's working. It's working. So I need to smoke more of this. I need to smoke more. Give me more marijuana. And it's actually how I moved out to California. I sold a pound of marijuana.
Let's go.
And yeah, so I mean, I had a pound of marijuana. Now it's statute of limitations, or it's legal now, so we're okay.
Sure, sure.
Well, because I wouldn't have told this story then. I had
What year was this? 90?
right before I moved to California. This is what got me to California, to live here, to give it a shot.
You wouldn't have told that story on a podcast
Really
back in
bad.
early 90s.
I'm already sponsored on Creature, but now I'm sponsored by Creature, but I'm living in Minnesota. I need to get out to California. I need to get out there. I don't have a job. They're not paying for me yet. How do I get out to California? Okay. Someone's like, hey, Darren, we'll sell you a pound of marijuana for $500. I'm like, okay. If I sell, I mean, okay, so how much? Okay. So then also I have this pound of marijuana, and my friend's like, hey, Darren, can I just take that? He's still in high school. Can I just take that to school? I'm like, yeah, take the whole thing. So he came back with $1,400. I bought a van for $300. I drove across California.
Yes.
Did you give him a cut?
That's a good question. Oh no, of course he must have sold it more because he just gave me $1,400. So he probably doubled it.
Okay.
Yes. He came up.
He was higher than me. He was higher than me.
Hey, but you got your car.
I bought a van. I
Man.
drove out to California, lived in it, and then that's how that started. And then also I
Okay.
started running out of money. I went back home, and then I had to come back again.
Right.
And that's when we started figuring out. But then all of a sudden I came back to California, and then all of a sudden I turned pro, and they're like, "We're gonna pay you $500 a month."
Okay, wait. Hold on. You turned pro for Creature. How long after you got on?
So I did this contest. The last 1994. It was the last amateur contest. Maybe at the
You
time.
got on Creature in 94.
I know. Or maybe not. Yeah, it all happened. It was
Wow.
all just overnight.
Okay.
And also, so again, back to this Jason Adams and all this stuff. The original Creature. These are the original Creature. Russ Pope started Creature Skateboards. Jason Adams, Barker Barrett, Dorian Tucker, and me. I'm the token vert skater. So I didn't start Creature, but I'm an original rider, and still the original rider that's still there today from the very beginning. But it wasn't my creation.
Right.
I wanted to ride for SMA. Are you kidding me? That sounds. But
But Pope got you on the Creature, right?
So
and
that-
Creature actually went out of business for a little bit. We'll get to there, but then it got re-sparked.
So then Jason and Russ and Barker like, hey, we're jumping ship, and
Why were they jumping ship?
well, that's you got to ask them that.
Okay, you don't
That's
know.
not.
Okay.
And so then all of a sudden, like, okay, where are we going? And they're like, we're gonna go here. We're gonna go start our own thing. And I was like, but I was at NHS, so this is where we're gonna come back full circle later. All of a sudden, I saw NHS and I saw this history on the wall. Like, no way! But you guys are gonna go take it back to the beginning in a garage? You're gonna hand sew things like this hat and this stuff? You're gonna hand sew stuff? No. I want this factory perfection made stuff. And so you go to NHS and it's like, whoa, this is it. Does it have soul? We'll talk about that. But anyways, it's just like, wow, this is where I want to be. This is the highest hierarchy of skateboarding. It was called Santa Cruz Skateboards. It was Jason, Jesse, Grasso, Salva. This was my generation. Like, I'm where they are.
Right.
Can you smell those stickers? They smell like vinyl. What the hell? This is it. This isn't in Winona, Minnesota. This is the real stuff. So all of a sudden, those guys went that way, and NHS was like, if you stay here, it's yours, and you're going to Europe next month. So I went to Europe, and then I felt bad about that, but then Jason Adams and I talked about it later. He was like, you made the right decision, because he already knew. He's already way before me, so he's like, they were probably pissed, like, Darren, you motherfucker.
What company did they go start after?
Scarecrow.
Thank you.
Were you like kind of the team manager at that point?
Yeah. But I didn't know what I was doing. I just put my friends on. I put Al Parton, Chet Childress, and Sam Hitz.
Some good people to put on, though.
Yeah.
They were
Let's
my
not
friends.
be honest, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to, because like Creature, it went out of business for a little bit. 99, right?
yeah.
99.
Yeah.
What happened there? Why did it shut its doors? Do you know why it shut its doors?
Okay, again, I have my own interpretations, and someone could say that's not what happened. But
Okay.
my interpretation was it wasn't working. We didn't have
I mean, you've been it's been in business 5 years at this point. Like that's for a skateboard company to last that long in the early to late 90s is pretty spectacular.
Again, this is my interpretation in my own head. Was Santa Cruz Skateboards at that time on the top of the charts? At that time in 1999, was Santa Cruz Skateboards someone you wanted to ride for?
Not at all.
No.
Excuse me?
Not at all.
It wasn't what it. Yeah, they were a little lost.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Their logo fucked everything up.
Oh, the knot?
The knot.
Looked like snowboarding. But anyways, who came up with that? It's okay. But it's not someone you wanted to ride for. So
It's not?
You wanted to ride for girl.
Yeah.
You want to ride for Toy Machine. You wanted to ride for the vibration of you're in the field. You're part of it. I mean,
Right.
the real stuff is who is the people you want to ride for. The ones in the field, the ones that are part of it. So if you're not in the field, what is it?
So at that point, you're saying that Santa Cruz, because Santa Cruz is the flagship of NHS, right? So if Santa Cruz isn't doing that well, everything underneath it isn't doing that well, and that's why Creature had to take a break.
Again, full interpretation, could be wrong, and Jeff Kendall could be like, that's not what happened.
Okay.
So
This is through your eyes.
through my eyes, and everything's through my eyes,
Sure.
because this is my life that I'm trying to figure out. And a quick story with this through my eyes. When I first met Sam Hitz, we went to the turf. I went to the turf. I was 12 years old, maybe 13, late bloomer. So, but I remember I told my mom, I was like, I'm going to go stay at my friend's house. I'm going to sleep at my friend's house. She's like, okay. And my elders, 16-year-olds, put me in a car. We drove 6 hours away to Milwaukee to skate the turf skate park. My mom said, whatever you do, call me tonight. Just, I was like, okay. So I remember I'm in Milwaukee, sleeping in a car, but I remember calling my mom, 1-800-CALL-ATT collect. Doop, 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 doop. If you'd like to make a call, please try again. And I kept trying because I'm supposed to call my mom tonight. I'm 13 years old. And I started crying.
It's not working.
Mom, I'm scared. I'm sleeping. It's the 16-year-olds. But I look back on that, like, if it went through, you have a collect call from your 13-year-old son that's really 12 or 9 in his head.
Scared shitless.
6 hours away in a
Right.
whole different state. My mom would have gotten in the car and came and got me. So it's good that it didn't go through because nothing happened. And it was fine because I was scared. I had a panic attack, but not really a panic attack. What's that mean? I'm scared. I'm sleeping on a wooden floor. And the next morning, everything was okay. Like, there's a ramp, there's a bowl. But we found ourselves in this life of like, I'm totally nervous. I'm scared. I don't belong here, but we're here. So anyways, I met Sam Hitz, and I told him the story. He's like, that's not what happened, because it's my eyes.
Sure.
I saw this kid, Sam Hitz. He rolls down the keyhole, does a big eggplant, perfect. He's my age, little kid, and stares at me. And I was like, whoa. And he's like, I didn't stare at you. I was like, dude, I remember crystal clear. You rolled down, did it, raddest eggplant I've ever seen, and rolled out and just looked at me like mean mugged me. It's like, I didn't do that. And I was looking back on my life, like, you know what? His mom, I was at the fence in the small bowl. His mom could have been behind me. Like, Sam, come on. So he might have been like,
Right.
not looking at me.
Right.
But I thought he was looking at me. So
Okay.
that's the interpretation. Like, all this stuff happens, but it might just be
Got you.
my eyes.
Yes. So moving to the creature.
So it started shifting and it changed, and all of a sudden it was moving around. They fired Sam. They fired Al. They got rid of him. I'm still there because I was the token guy, or I was the oldest, or whatever, the longest.
Okay.
They put some street skaters on a team, and I don't remember their names, but I remember one of the dudes had an interview in Big Brother, and he was like, "This is no longer Creature Gnar. This is Creature Tech." I was like, "Creature Tech? That sounds weird. Creature Tech. This does not sound good."
They were claiming that?
Whoever it was that rode for us,
Okay.
The new guys.
Yeah.
the new guys, I don't even know their names. I think one of them worked for Thrasher. The video? This is not rocket science. That guy, I don't know. I don't know these
I
people.
don't know.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
And whoever you are, we love you. You're probably some part of skateboarding that's really good or not. I don't know. But
Just prefacing.
love it,
Just
yeah.
prefacing.
again,
Yeah.
this is through my eyes. If I meet him again, like, that was me, they're like, oh man, that's great. Okay. You're now in charge of what? No way. Wow. Okay.
Put me on the team.
You're the head of commerce. Hey, man. I don't skateboard no more, but I'm the chief of commerce. Okay.
Chief. So they're getting rid of people, but they kept you.
Yeah. So, but they put these new guys on, and we were going to do a video called Dyer's Lane.
Mm-hmm.
I filmed my whole part, and we did an ad like Dyer's Lane video is going to come out, and then all of a sudden I get the call. Hey, from Jeff Kendall. He's like, hey, we're not going to do this no more. I was like, what? We're not going to do Creature Skateboards anymore. I was like, okay. So I ride for Santa Cruz? And he's like, no, you actually, you have an image. And I was like, what's my image? He's like, well, you're the vertical vampire. And I was like, you guys gave me that name. I never wanted to be the vertical vampire. I just wanted to be a skateboarder.
But you are.
Why can't you put me on Santa Cruz? I'll make Santa Cruz rad. We'll make
I see what you're saying.
We'll make it cool. We'll bring back the original Santa Cruz. Let's make it where I came from.
You had a vision.
Yeah, I had a vision. But no, it's not going to work. You're done. Shit, now what? My career's over with. Skateboarding's over with. No, it's not.
How old are you at this point?
I keep saying 17.
Well, no, but 1999. Let's do some math. I need to know how old you are at this point. I need to know how old the vertical vampire is.
I've always lied about my age.
Okay.
When I was 16, I said I was 18 to get cigarettes. When I was 20, I said I was 21 to get beer. So, I mean, I always lied about my age. But
when you're 23, you're 18.
I was born in 1974. So what's that make that in 1999?
Raj, get the calculator.
25?
Oh, Kelly's good.
25?
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit, so that's almost past your, as a skateboarder, you're almost done already. But luckily I was a late bloomer, so I look like a younger kid.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I mean, because you're 25 years old.
Well, 25, if that could be a sign that it is done, though. If you're just, hey, we're done with this company, you're 25 years old.
Right,
sure.
Right.
Now you're like,
you don't have no
shit.
other options.
Jamie Thomas was 25 at the same time doing his thing, and he was ripping, right? Because
Yeah, but no, 100%. But if Jamie Thomas didn't have anything to go, if his company was done, where would he go?
Right. So this is what happened. All of a sudden it was done, and I remember calling Jamie Thomas like, "Hey, I want to ride for Zero," and he's like, and it almost happened. It was
really
so close. Yeah. And
what was the deciding factor?
There was somebody on the team that said no.
Really? Who?
I don't know.
Wow.
I want to say it was Mumford, which became my friend later, and he'd be like, "That wasn't me, Darren," but somebody said no. I was like, "I'm going to ride for Zero."
And he never told you.
No,
He wouldn't. Jamie Thomas. He wouldn't say.
and it doesn't matter.
Maybe we should we'll bring Jamie. No, we'll find out. We'll find out.
it doesn't, 'cause it doesn't matter.
It matters to me.
It mattered for me, but it didn't matter for me. I mean, but I wanted to ride for Zero. I was like, okay. Creature's done. I'm going to go even higher. Because Zero at the time was Zero.
Oh, that was big at that point. Yeah.
The biggest.
It was one of the biggest for sure.
And we were already friends, like Jamie would help me out. And so I was like, we're going here.
And there was no vert dude on the team. Was there a vert?
Did they ever have a...
I don't know if they had
never had a
Holy
breakout.
shit. So
There might be
So Zero never had a token. Zero never had a token.
I got a few tokens, but
Not a vert token.
Okay, so...
So what did you do, though? What did you do?
Well,
if it didn't work out with Jamie Thomas, did you just...
Well, we'll get there, but it's funny because one time when I was starting to hang out with Jamie Thomas, I went to his house, and he had this magazine, and I was just looking through the magazine. I was flipping it real quick, Trans World. I was like, tick, 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 tick. And he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "What?" And he's like, "That's how you look at a magazine?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm looking for all the vert photos first, and then I go back and look at the street photos."
That's so dumb.
I was backwards. You guys were all skipping fast forward the vert button.
I was going to ask you about blind video days because Jordan Richter, that's the fast forward button. That's the vert button. But you were probably watching Jordan Richter's part before anybody else's, no?
I remember when all of a sudden we had 2 VCRs when that showed up in our life. Like we got 2 VCRs. I was reverse osmosising things. I was taking every vert part and putting on one tape I could reverse osmosis. Like I'm gonna watch nothing but vert. But I put all of it from the 80s.
See, I was taking all the vert out.
I know. See, I was taking your leftovers. I was like, what you don't want, I'm going to take.
Oh, the dual deck VCRs, baby.
And I'm going to make this happen.
We're making our own shit.
I saw my avenue. No one wants this. So no one wants this. I'm going to take this because no one wants this. And I love this. This is what I want to do. It's called the swing set, man. If you went to the park, the swing set's where you caught air. How do you not want to catch air? Mm-hmm. That makes no sense. It's air. You're what the? Wow.
Described it pretty good.
Yeah,
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
what I was going to say was like, it was only gone for a short time. 2 years, 2.5 years, maybe 3.
Right.
Let's call it 3.
Okay. Absolutely, yeah.
Did you have another sponsor in this point in time, or did you were you just doing your thing?
Well, now vert skating was done. We
Yeah.
came back around, so full circle again, and it was done again almost for me. Creature's done.
Right.
And we're done, Darren. Sorry, great opportunity, but you're over with. And Zero, sorry, Darren, you're not going to make it. Shit. Called Todd Swank. How about Foundation? And he was close. He was like, okay, sent me a board. I entered a contest. One other guy didn't want me on. Again, my interpretation. So the other guy, if he was like, that's not what happened, Darren, I know. This is my interpretation. There was another guy that might have been more gothic than me. I didn't want to be
You were
gothic.
going to take his goth.
That's my interpretation again.
I understand. I think at this point in time, too, you're a very well-known skateboarder, and I think that you should have had these like, you know what I mean? Like one person standing in Darren Navarrette's way.
No, that's where skateboarders were like that.
No,
back then, I feel like. It was
100%,
crazy, right?
100%.
One person could. Nope, no, it doesn't work. This dude doesn't want them.
But this is the truth of life. These obstacles are what makes us.
Sure.
So if this obstacle didn't show up, this would have never happened. So all these obstacles that came into my life made me overcome things. Now what, Darren? Shit. I don't know. 151. Here we go.
Ah, yes, 151. Eric Dressen. We were talking about this.
So all of a sudden, 151 was like, before this all happened, I remember I was riding for NHS full power, and Maple Skateboards was like, hey, why don't you ride for Maple? So I went to Maple, and it was in this trailer park. It was all these trailers, and they were like, this is when I was kind of a small hierarchy in skateboarding. So they're like, hey, Darren, why don't you ride for Maple? I went to their trailer park, and I was like, hell no. I was at NHS 3 weeks ago. It's this big old thing with all this history. I'm not going to go to this trailer park. I came from a...
You didn't want to sacrifice that.
But wait a minute. What are we talking about? 151.
Yeah, it was a trailer.
It was the right trailer.
Oh, it's the right trailer. Okay.
Turns out 151, Maple Skateboards, all that's a dynasty. This was a wood manufacturer company, Watson Manufacturing. So it was still a trailer, but
Yeah.
this Watson made skateboards. NHS made skateboards. So these were skateboard manufacturers.
Back in the
Yeah.
day, to be a skateboard company, you almost had to manufacture your own
Yeah.
stuff. Everybody manufactured their own stuff.
Yeah.
That's why they were called a skateboard company.
Right. Pal Peralta, all of it.
Yes.
You manufacture
Right.
yourself.
Yes.
You couldn't do what we can do nowadays. Like,
No.
Right.
Well, everybody outsources now.
Right.
Yes.
So did Rocco start that? Where else? And he wasn't the first not manufacturer? Probably.
He didn't
Yeah.
manufacture shit.
No, he definitely did not.
Right.
Now, wait a minute. But what about Alva? Because Alva,
That's above my pay grade. I don't know. I'm not
don't
familiar.
know,
I'm
yeah.
not too familiar with Alva
Wait,
stuff.
I'm not sure if they.
Raj would
outsourced
know, maybe.
either. Yeah,
I don't know.
Raj, what do you think?
What are we talking about?
Alva?
What are you watching a movie back there?
Did they-
This is
did
like
they
your
manufacture-
prime. What you love to talk about is wood shops.
Did they manufacture
I'm
their
looking at
boards?
151 ads over here.
Did Alva manufacture his own boards?
No, he had someone else do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
then
see,
they were.
it's funny as a kid though. As a kid, I wanted the shiny stuff. I didn't want the imperfections. Alva was a homemade company, which is very rad now. Looking back later, I'm like, man, that was really cool. They spray painted themselves. They did it in their garage. It was really organic.
super rad.
It was power. But I wanted Pal Peralta. I wanted Santa Cruz. I wanted professionalism. I didn't want handmade.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you.
But that's a kid.
Sure.
Looking back at it again, that homemade stuff was the
It
real.
was super sick.
It's the real
man.
stuff. But you wanted to ride for.
The vertical
Okay.
vampire right here.
Oh,
Look at
yeah.
this. We're looking at a 151 ad. Vert is dead. The vertical vampire. You can't even see the trick. It's all just in red. It's a sequence. Who shot that, by the way? Do you remember?
Ed Dominic.
Hey, Dominic.
Oh, he shot a lot of that stuff back of you guys down there.
Yeah,
back
well,
then.
that's he was the Maple guy, and he was the one that was in the trailer. Yeah,
Was he like team manager, brand manager, dude, or what? Was,
151. Oh, we had
Ed was
We had-
manager
we-
of Maple.
we had this guy Zach, and he ripped it. He was very punk rocker, and he actually had a vision. He did it for us. He did a great thing, but then he moved on, and but he had a good vision.
Well, I feel like 151 was pretty short-lived.
Yeah, it was short-lived. I remember when I first got on 151, I was stoked because I had an avenue and they paid me some money. I was like, okay.
Were you on when Eric Dressen was on?
No.
Okay.
No. Eric Dressen was already off.
Gotcha.
I got on, and it was Neil Headings, Pigpen. But it was shifting. So Chet Childress, Peter Hewitt, myself, because people
Still that's a good
oh,
team.
it's great
Yeah.
because Hewitt was floating too, and it's Peter Hewitt.
yeah.
He's floating.
Another legend.
No one, like
Interesting.
one time I remember I called Kendall's like, you got to put Peter Hewitt on Santa Cruz when I got on Creature. Like, put Peter Hewitt on. He's like, he's not a contest skater. I was like, doesn't matter. We're in the field. This is the guy. He can frontside grind your face off.
Wasn't Peter on Santa Cruz one time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
twice. Yeah, twice. Yeah.
How did you get back on Creature? Because I heard stories that you kept bumping into people. Hey, let's get Creature back. Let's do Creature again. Like Denike and all these people. You would run into them and keep kind of not pressuring them, but like putting it in their brain. Like, hey, let's get a Creature. Let's do Creature again.
So 151 was doing great. We thought we were loving it, and it was a tough one because those guys were very tough. They were very punk and they were very dirty. And I remember being like, I tried to fit in. They're real. They're real. They're Burnside guys. I was a token. I was kind of shiny. I looked like a lure. My pants weren't dirty.
Was anybody biting on the lure?
Oh, they were biting. They're pulling me in directions. Hell's Angels, come with us. Like, no, where are we going? Not where I want to go, but still.
Couple options here.
And so then 151 was going. We were doing good. Everything was moving. Can you dig up my cover? Because I was riding for 151. I had a Thrasher cover once.
Right,
And-
he's on it. He's
and
on
that-
it.
That was me still making something happen.
Thrasher cover. What were you doing?
I had a boombox on my shoulder. It was a contest. Boost Mobile. It's all coming back around now.
Boost Mobile.
Contest. Remember that Boost
Wow.
Mobile contest for Thrasher?
Yeah. Wait, that was dumb.
I know Boost
2000
Mobile was in the game for
Okay,
a while.
so Creature
I'm
dismantled.
surprised though as well.
Creature dismantled in '99. Now it's like 2000, and I'm getting a cover. Maybe 2002. I'm not sure. We'd have to see that cover, but
He's looking for it. What year do you think it was? 2001, 2000?
just type in Darren Navarrette Thrasher cover.
He's looking through the Thrasher
I
archive.
got the archive right here.
Get the archive.
Oh, that's the long way.
I know. I don't. He can't find it. Are you sure this is true? Is it true? Is it true? You have it?
I had one.
We can't
Thrasher-
find it. No.
I had one Thrasher cover, and in my head, I'm like, you know what? One's better than 10. Anybody that's got 10 covers,
Dude.
I don't give a fuck because you've had 10 covers means nothing. I had one.
Means everything.
Everything.
It's funny because like yes, a Thrasher cover, like the Bible, like it's almost like I had an independent ad, one ad, but I had an independent ad,
right.
Like that was like.
But
the
doesn't
shit.
sometimes when you only have one, it means more than anything? Like,
Totally.
because if I had more and more, like, I'd
If I had like 5 Ventures ads, cool. But like I had an independent ad.
Exactly.
Those were hard to get. They were hard to get, Dubs.
I hear you, bro. That's a big team.
Not saying anything
Big
bad
team.
about Venture. I'm just saying. Oh, here we go. This is a vertical vampire on Proof.
There it is. Yep.
See
See?
the boom box before. Oh,
No, Musk already did it.
okay, my bad.
Oh, no. Musk already did it.
Look at that.
I was
board.
I was at this contest, and it was Boost Mobile. It was a brand new thing, and Darren Navarrette, you're up next, and they played 50 cents. Again, my own head, 50 cents, and I was like, what?
They're playing hip hop.
I'm not skating to 50 cents.
Cent.
Whatever.
Yeah.
wasn't my wheelhouse. Wasn't like, this is not my skate. I came from a skateboarding like, it's Husker Du, man. It had a taste of smell. That's not the taste or the smell that I came from. What is that? That's not me. That's a different generation. So I grabbed a boombox and took one of my runs, and
That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
so I created my own little thing because I was like,
This wasn't a wait. This was a photo of your run, or this was a different day?
no, that's the day.
Oh, so they took that Thrasher cut and made it a cover from that day of the contest.
From
You grabbed the
that
boom
shot,
box.
yeah.
Yeah.
You got
I
some
love
good
that.
incentive right there. You got a Emerica sticker. What's the bones one or the one with the
The skeleton.
skeleton?
Oh, that's 151.
Oh, it's 151.
Yeah.
Dude, that's probably a good check you got from that cover, then, huh? Dude, I was big back then.
For you guys.
Oh, you
151, 151 ain't doing that.
but for
about
Emerica,
Triller?
baby, Emerica.
But, yeah, America though, right?
The boombox has Hesh on it.
I don't
and a
even think-
Thrasher
I-
sticker.
I
They
don't
weren't doing photo incentives at that time.
I had a small problem with the Emerica. I'll tell the truth right now. I had a small problem with the Emerica. Yeah.
They weren't paying you.
No. Okay. So Etnies paid me. It's funny because Mike Crum was the one who got me paid in the very beginning because he was like, "You don't get paid from Etnies," and I was like, "No." And he's like, he made a phone call he put a quarter in a machine and he called you don't pay Navarrette, you got to pay him. And it's Mike Crum. Mike Crum was making good money at the time. He was Mike Crum. Crum was not a token vert skater. Crum was Mike Crum. And so he got me paid for my first paycheck through shoes, and now I made $200. So I made $500 from Creature. And this is before that,
Yep.
and $200. And now I'm making $700 a month. I'm living. I don't have to sell. I don't have to sell a pound of marijuana anymore. I'm making money.
Or you're the glue factory.
Exactly. But the biggest mistake there I made was I paid my taxes the first year. I paid $200 to do my taxes, but also I couldn't pay rent, so I didn't do it for the next time.
Ouch.
Uh-huh. Oh, and it's going to come full circle because I had a video game character once,
Uh-huh.
and they paid me.
You had to give some of that money back, huh?
Oh, no, they took it all.
Wow.
I mean, I was like, I'm buying a house tomorrow.
Wait a minute. Video game was
EA Sports Skate 2 and 3.
okay.
Oh,
You had a
wow.
character in there. They paid you
A great amount of money.
how many zeros?
I'd just say 50.
$50K.
I love it.
And you had all that went to back taxes.
Well, then I went to the bank and I was like, I'd like to put this check in my account, please. And like, which one, sir? I was like, the big one. And like, the one with $27. Like, no, the big one. The one with $27. Like, no, the big one. There is no big one. And I was like,
Wow.
How big
What?
did you wait? So all
They
your
just
money?
they garnished it. Like,
yeah. I mean, this is the IRS. They're coming for you.
yeah.
Wow.
They're coming for their money.
But when I look back on my life, like, did you make a mistake? Absolutely. But it was just money. What's it mean? I'm nothing.
Right.
Sorry, but it's okay. I had a video game character. That's going to go through time. It's better than money. Almost.
I mean, dude, there's a lot of people out there that have played your character and EA Skate was no laughing matter. Like that was a good
That
game.
was a big one.
Big
dude.
game.
Yeah.
Besides Tony Hawk Pro Skater, you couldn't get better.
A
than
side
that.
story on this one that I love that Crumb hates is so they were like, hey, so you're gonna do all these hand plants, and I couldn't do finger flip hand plants, so I called Mike Crumb. I was like, hey man, I gotta do all these hand plants. So Mike Crumb did like 3 hand plants. Yeah,
There he is in video game form.
and there's my fedora over there.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
but so Crumb he did the finger flip invert and some other thing, and he's making fun of me recently. And I saw him. He's like, they gave me a check for $1,000, Darren, and they gave you $50,000. I was like, I know. You didn't wear the fedora.
You were the character.
Crumb is a better skater than me. He always will be.
This was years later though. This was
Yeah.
after
Oh, yeah.
all. Okay.
Oh yeah.
okay.
So now I know we're just it's a big. It's a big,
No. We're weaving.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, people are listening. I'm sure we're
It's-
taking them for a wild ride.
it's-
But I love every minute of
It's
this.
roots.
No,
This is-
100%.
This is how roots work. They go and they move, and this is it. So. Okay, so back to Creature 151.
Yes.
So then 151, all of a sudden they're pulling the plug now.
Right.
So 151 out of Watson's like, and we're gonna make another video. It's called that was a great name. It was called No Idols. We had all the people. It was a great video. Like we're almost there again. We had something.
It sucks because like back then when they pull the plug so close to a video part, they're right on the cusp of like gaining all that momentum back.
Why did they do it?
I don't know. It happens. I hear these stories in that time period
Why
of
would
them.
we had the sleeves for. I had a sleeve for the Creature video, Dyer's Land. We had the sleeve for the 151 video, No Idols. The sleeves were made. We were going in. The video was done. We were going in.
and that could have just boosted 151 back into the.
Well, it's funny you hear people
The green.
making videos too, and then they drop everything too. Because even with like before and after you've heard these things, which sucks,
I
right?
feel like there was a certain point in skateboarding that when that video dropped, it boosted that
Right.
sales, man.
Why'd
And,
you drop it right
Companies
before-
were killing
Right,
it after that video. part.
Creature did it to me.
Yeah.
151 did it the first time. So then 151, they're like, we're done. And it's, again, now here's my back against the wall. Like, what are you going to do, Darren? And
We're watching a 151 Navarrette part, by the way. Promo video. So what happened?
so we're done again. Here I am with, where do you go? How do you make a life through skateboarding? And I wasn't sure yet. And then 151 sold to Dorfman, which was Vision Skateboards.
Gotcha.
I just got the cover of Thrasher, and Boost Mobile was now sponsoring me. They gave me a phone. And, you know, our generation, this is, like I said, this is, Mom, I can't, but now we have a phone.
Right.
I'm at the bar at this time because 151 taught me how to drink, and I was just drinking. I write for 151. I mean,
Right.
you try not drinking on 151. So now I'm drinking, and I'm at the bar every night, and I get a phone call from Brad Dorfman a couple nights, and, you know, I'm drunk, and he's like, Darren, he bought 151. So he's like, he wants it. He wants me to be a part of it. And he's like, what's it take for you to ride for 151 through me. And I'm like, because I already tried. I tried for Foundation. I tried for Zero. I'm trying again for everybody. Like, who's going to take me? Nobody's going to take me. All right, $2,000 a month and buy me a hearse. I hang up the phone. The next day, he's like, I got your hearse. And I was like, oh, no. I don't even want a hearse. I don't even want a hearse. To be honest, I didn't want a hearse. I want a Mercury. I want a lowrider. I don't want a...
Why did you say hearse?
I have no idea. I was just drunk
Fucking
and
around,
going with the image. Like, the vertical vampire, buy me a hearse. I don't want a hearse.
You're almost just saying as a joke that like he'll never do that.
Yeah.
Was that kind of what you're going at?
Yeah, I mean, but also I was just using this gimmick as the vertical vampire trying to move through like...
So what'd you tell him?
So he bought me the hearse. And he gave me $2,000 a month. So I rode for him.
How long did you ride for him?
So we were going through these things. I was going up there.
And by the way, let me just ask you this. When he bought 151, why was it so much trouble going over with him to and doing 151 under him? Why did he have to... Why didn't you just go right away?
Because I wanted to ride for Girl or Chocolate.
That
Come on.
amazing. You want chocolate? Would have been sick.
I want to ride for something cool.
Okay.
Not Brad Dorfman.
And everybody was kind of off 151. It was kind of
Oh,
like
yeah.
they were redoing the whole thing.
I
Like
wanted
you
to ride.
were-
I wanted to ride for something real.
Okay.
Right.
Skateboarding.
Okay. Makes sense.
Brad
Sure.
Dorfman, he did Vision Skateboards in the day, and it was great. Mark Gonzalez also, but Mark Gonzalez quit. All this stuff is done. Brad Dorfman, what are you doing? I don't know. But then I was like, well,
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
But then I was like, well, you know,
get you.
I mean, okay, rad. I've ridden for NHS, ridden for Vision Skateboards. Basically, what's next? Paul Schmidt. Like, if I can ride for all this stuff, like maybe let's just go down this avenue. So I did it, and we're doing it, but we're butting heads right away. He was like, he wouldn't give me my paycheck. I had to drive up to him to get my paycheck every day.
God.
And then all of a sudden he's like, hey man, you have my video camera. I was like, the video camera I use to film? And he's like, yeah, that's part of when I bought the company. That's part of mine. I need the camera back. I was like, why? I'm using it. I'm filming, skateboarding. I'm not going to give you a paycheck. So I was like, ah. So I put the camera there on his desk. He's like, okay, here's your paycheck. I come back to get my paycheck. Camera's still sitting there. 3 months later, the camera's still sitting on his desk. He's not using it. Like I was using it.
Frustrating.
I could use this footage and give it to Schmitty, and he's putting it in Thrasher. You know?
Sure.
I'm doing my job.
You're doing your thing, yeah.
We did a whole thing with the Thrasher. They gave us 10 pages in that hearse. God.
Well, at least you utilize it.
He paid for the gas. He paid for the gas.
Oh yeah.
Of course I utilized it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Of course I utilized it. But so we did a whole tour of Thrasher. We went to Arizona Skate Backyard Pools. We did this stuff. And, I was like, Dorfman, I just gave you 10 pages of editorial for free. And that was Phelps giving us to that, like just believing us, doing what he's doing for us. And because we were doing something that no one else was doing, Skate Backyard Pools. And it wasn't that cool at the time. Well, it was. And there was people that were way better than me. So they're like, there's older guys be like, Darren, you think pool skating? No, I saw you guys. So, so I started butting heads with Dorfman, and we just started butting heads a lot. And then finally something happened, and I snapped on him, and I was like, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to get a lawyer. And then I just started laughing. I was like, never mind. Just give me my last paycheck. Let's call it quits.
That was it.
Huh?
Okay.
And he's like, okay, Darren, we can do that. But at the same time, in between that time period, I didn't like it. Dorfman wasn't giving me the creative platform I was looking for. Trade shows were going on. I was talking to NHS. I started, hey, let's bring Creature back. Let's bring Creature back.
Give him a little nudge. Right.
I was going into the thing and be like, let's bring Creature back. That's a great idea, Darren. Maybe. Okay. Kept pushing. Let's bring Creature back, man. Let's go now. Are we ready? There was a time before that where Jeff Kendall was like, hey, Darren, they gave me a Christmas bonus, $1,000. He's like, because I was wearing indie stuff. I was wearing the cross. How do you like that? Sorry. But I was wearing the cross. And not everyone was. I was copying because Danny Way, remember, he used to wear the cross on his back and backs, like nose blunt, backs of Reavers. Like, whoa, that cross on your back that's Danny Way. Wow. So I was wearing the cross a lot because I had no sponsors almost. So like, what's my most legitimate sponsor was Indie.
Sure.
So I ran that. And Kendall was like, would you ever be the brand manager of Indie? I was like, no way. I'm still skating. I can't do that. No way. But so anyways, we're doing this, doing that. So let's do Creature though. Let's do Creature. Nudging. And then all of a sudden, all right, we'll fly you up. So they flew me up to talk to NHS to figure out what we could do. Nothing. Back home. Back up. Back home. Back up. Back home.
Ping pong.
3 times.
Yeah, I believe so. I remember I was talking to Kendall, and he's like, "What do you want, Darren?" I was like, "I want a job." And sorry, Kendall, but this is what I remember, my own interpretation. I want a job, and he's like, "Wrong answer. A job's getting a job at Burger King." I went back to the hotel. I couldn't sleep. Next day, I woke up, and I was like, "Wrong. A job for me is I want to accomplish something. I have a job to do. I have a goal to achieve. That's a job." Not working at Burger King. I don't want just a job. I have something to achieve. I want to do something.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden, he flies me back. I go back home, and I had a friend, Shane, which is he had a silkscreen press in my neighborhood. And all of a sudden, I was like, "Hey, man, Shane, can you silkscreen me some Creature shirts?" He's like, "Absolutely." So we started bootlegging Creature shirts. I started spray painting Creature on my boards. I started getting photos in Thrasher, moving around Creature. Creature's back. They didn't even sign the deal yet, but Creature's back. I'm pushing.
You made it come back.
Right.
I'm pushing the needle.
Right.
I want it so badly that nothing can stop me. This is what I want. Maybe they don't want it, but I want this. So then
Gotcha.
all of a sudden, here it comes. Finally, like, we heard Creature's back. Creature's not back yet. Well, why is Darren wearing all of it? It's back. So then all of a sudden it happened. They partnered me up with Lee Sharon, and Lee Sharon's brilliant. And we made it happen, and let's go. And all of a sudden we went full power. Yeah.
And you and Lee kind of took the duties of Creature when it revamped.
Absolutely.
Right. What was his role, and what was kind of your role?
Well, that's where we have a nice blur, and I love Lee. I love Lee very much.
Okay,
But
okay.
there's a napkin somewhere that says I am more than the brand manager, but Lee is the brand manager.
Okay.
So I am team manager and also brand manager. So we
But
work
you
together.
never wanted to take on these roles. You wanted to skate.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right,
I want to
right.
be the field. I want to
Yeah,
be the
yeah,
field
yeah,
marshal.
yeah.
And
It's like a brand ambassador, not ambassador, but like you're like the leader of the skating, and then you have the brand manager.
He's the captain.
Yeah.
The captain.
I'm not going to say captain or that, but in my head, a general. But as a general, I would like to be in the field with my people.
Right.
I want to lead by example and know, like, hey, guys, it's a hard path, but let's go into battle. But I'm right here with you. That's where I want to be.
Yeah.
So that's where it was. Like, yes, I'd like to be a general, but I'd like to be a general in the field. And so people believe in me because I'm right there with them. I'm theirs. I understand this is what we're doing. This is where skateboarding is going. I'm not sitting behind a desk saying this is where skateboarding is going. I'm in skateboarding.
Well, that's
This
where
is
you
where
lose
it's going.
touch a little bit.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
It's
All day.
behind a desk, right?
So would you just
when you're
commu-
not in the field, bro, you
Yeah.
definitely lose touch.
Yeah.
Would you just be down in San Diego and communicating with Lee back and forth about like the brand and everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean,
Yeah.
I'd be in the field, and he believed in me so much. I believed in him so much that it's like, you know, and when we got even better and better and better, like, hey, Lee, I want to go to Peru. Like, don't go to Peru. There's nothing in Peru. No, we're going to Peru. We're going to go to Machu Picchu. Darn. And we did. We went to Machu Picchu. And we
love
skated
that.
and did all this stuff. But see, what that did was all these kids were just like, whoa, they went to Machu Picchu. We got to buy Creature. We got to buy Creature because they went to Machu Picchu. And then at that time we started looking at, like, because at the time all contests were contests. Remember, we had to go to Europe every year, and also Europe was done for me. Like, I'm not going to, what was it, World Cup or Marseille and all that stuff. I wasn't going anymore.
God, what was that big contest?
Yeah, Munster.
Munster.
All the
Yeah, yeah,
Europe,
yeah.
Europe
Because in
contest.
the beginning we had to
Europe,
go to Munster.
That was the big one.
Yeah, but I wasn't getting top 10. I was not a top 10 skater. So
But they were having the Marseille Bowl contest, like
still.
Around that same time.
yeah,
Yeah,
Omar Hassan
yeah.
won like 3 times in a row.
I wasn't a very good competition skater, so all of a sudden I
Okay.
started looking. I was like, my philosophy is like, I'm going to be a location skater, like surfing. Like, let's go on location.
Okay.
Let's go cool places where no one else is going. Small group of people on a safari. Let's make something happen because I can't compete with these guys. It's Bob Burnquist, Andy McDonald. Darren Navarrette has no place here.
On a competition level.
No place here.
Okay.
He cannot make it.
In a competition level.
Can't make it.
Right.
So let's go do something else. Let's go here, here, and here. Let's just do location.
I think a lot of skaters can
Right.
relate to that.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
that's probably me being a street skater to myself. Like, I'm a vert skater, but I'm going to
I wanna go out
I'm
and-
going
yeah.
to go on location.
Yep.
You know,
I'm gonna
like-
do this different.
Yeah, like Walker Ryan, he like travels everywhere to go.
Yeah.
But obviously, he can actually skate a contest good, but there's just people that they look at the world like they want to skate it.
Right.
Yeah.
What was the other dude that traveled everywhere, like go to Thailand?
Oh, Kenny Reed?
Kenny
Kenny
Reed.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was a destination skater,
Straight up.
100%.
Straight
Yeah.
up.
yeah.
So I love the story that you know, silk screened shirts, and you were literally the catalyst for bringing Creature back into the limelight and making it happen.
Is that
This
just
is-
is that just through your eyes, or is that
In my soul, I'm going to say I couldn't have done it without them.
Without Creature, without
The people,
Well-
the people there. I mean, I could have, but I didn't. It was.
but
it's-
you were saying like, I want this so bad. I'm going to make
Yeah.
this shit
Yeah.
myself. I'm
Yep.
going to bootleg
Yep.
it, and I'm going to get in Thrasher, and I'm
Yep.
going to get all this stuff. I'm going to get the
Yep.
hype going,
and they're gonna bring it back?
and they're going to bring it back.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
That's the truth. And you know, there's other side avenues on that where also like you know, they weren't doing OJs yet, and they had Ricta, and I was like, Ricta sucks. I'm sorry, but it does.
Hey, through your eyes, right?
I came from a different generation, and when NHS to me was the raddest thing ever. OJ wheels. I was like, you should do OJ again. OJ 3. Because you stopped on OJ 2, bring OJ 3s back. And OJs are here now.
Interesting. Yeah,
so
yeah.
it could be because of me, and someone could be like, no, it's not. But I'll say in my soul again, yeah, it is. I remember bringing all these stuff like, do OJ 3s. And then I remember Kendall was like, so you're going to ride for OJ 3s? I was like, I can't. And he's like, why? And I was like, well, the day Creature first fired me, I got a call from Spitfire that day. NHS is done. Creature in 1999. Mickey called me like, you ride for Spitfire now. I was like,
Mickey Reyes.
I was like, whoa.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And so I couldn't quit that because I kind of liked believing in loyalty. I mean, it was very weird, but I liked.
No, 100%.
I don't think that's weird at all.
And-
Yeah.
Well, but see,
did.
I could have made money now. I could have made money going over here.
But there's brands that are just like, just being affiliated with that brand is a good thing. And it's wheels, right? What $200?
But the wheelhouse was NHS now. I'm there. I'm home. I'm
Yeah,
at NHS.
yeah.
I should have gone there,
Right.
but I didn't go there. I shouldn't have gone there. So everything's working the way it's supposed to be working. So thank you very much.
Right.
But in the long run, like OJ's back. Whose idea was it? Well, if someone else can tell me, anybody at NHS, like, that was my idea. Well, we'll go to the council and see if it was your idea. Was Creature Green my idea or their idea? We'll go to the council and see. And it doesn't matter. But I remember, let's make it green. Because, okay, Creature's coming back. What color is it going to be?
And was it supposed to be like red? Was the colors like red, green, and
in my head,
something
I saw
else?
something. I kind of like mystery skateboards.
Okay.
I was like, I like it. It was all black and white. I was like, I kind of see that. You saw this thing, and I was like, but then I was like, okay, we need to do a colors because I believe in marketing. Colors is something. And when I was a kid, what did you want? Did you want the Kawasaki, the Honda, or the Yamaha? As a kid, as a motorcycle,
Right.
did the bicycle?
you want the Huffy?
Exactly.
Yes.
Did you want yellow, green, or red, or blue? This is
Right,
this is
right.
something. So I was like, Creature green. Let's make it all green because that'll pop.
And it just goes with the movies and
Exactly.
the monsters
Yeah,
and
like
stuff
Slee
like
Stack
that.
creatures.
Yeah.
They give her green.
Sleet stacks.
Yeah. Now,
He said sleet stacks.
Land of the Lost. If
Yeah,
you
that
don't
was
know,
a-
Land of the Lost.
Right here.
Now, I had a battle with Lee, and we love each other now. But we had a battle because he was like, "That was my idea." I was like, "That was my idea." So again, that was my idea. But this is a problem.
Some people need. Listen. Some companies need that kind of visionary person, though. You know?
Well, we were both visionaries.
Right.
We were all visionaries. My whole crew is visionaries, and maybe this is where we have some problems because, well, it's like it's a musical band. Like, who's the lead singer? Sam Hitz is. Who's the? Well, then I'm just a bass player, guys, and I like the bass because no one knows that the bass player. He's the one that's. I'm with the drummer, motherfucker. That's it. That's a vibration. Like, that's the bass player, man. That's making a sound that needs to be there. But anyways,
So when you start Creature back, what's you're starting a team? Who you putting on?
I put a nobodies, my friends. I put a Josh Perkins, Alex Horn, Cody Boat, and then we put David Gravette.
I was gonna say,
Wow.
man, David Gravette. He was like the guy,
He was the new blood coming from,
And
but
that-
also
right
the new
there.
street skater who was just like.
But we had this little,
Ready.
we had a
Go
little
ahead.
promo, and then we went a little further, and I called Al and I called Sam. Like, I need my originals back. I need my people because also at that time, Sam Hits and Al Partner were in my eyes again, were the best pool skaters out there. We were in the field knowing where pool skating was. Those two dudes were the best in my eyes. Like, and they're my friends. So let's put them on because this is going to give us this opportunity of, they're old, but this is the guys.
No, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
For sure.
And this is the thing about skateboard companies that maybe some people lose touch over, and I don't know, but the team is everything.
Yeah.
The team is the skateboard company, right? And I feel like a lot of the times, like the older people get, they get put, listen, the new kids are coming in, there should be room for the new kids.
Absolutely.
But as a whole in a company, that is the lifeblood of the company. That's their heritage. That is who they are, who they were, right? And there has to be a cohesiveness to me of like,
I agree.
This is the skateboarding team, past, present, and future.
Well, I mean, I think in the beginning for Creature, it was like we were such a collective of people. Like this was a group. It was our band. Everywhere we went, it was a presence. It was us, but we all knew each other. I mean, that was the beauty of it. Like we're all friends. So we all got in the van and we knew each other. It's again, that's a bass player, that's a drummer, that's a lead singer, that's a violin player. That we made music together.
Who
that
was
was
a violin player?
I'll take that one too. Later in years, I'd give it to Jimmy Wilkins. 'Cause now, playing the violin is one of the toughest things.
What's
you could
Stu
play.
Graham? What's Stu Graham?
Oh, that's a good idea. What is Stu Graham? He's just pure.
The mosher.
What instrument would Stu Graham play?
He's security.
Definite security.
I love Stu Graham.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's great. So, I mean, we're talking like now, 28 years almost? We're going on 30 years of Creature Skateboards.
Wow.
It's a beautiful thing, man.
I wonder what's going to happen when we have our 30th year anniversary. Who's going to be there?
Who's gonna be? I'll come.
I don't know.
You want me to come?
Yeah.
I'd love to be there.
Okay.
Is it going to be like in Santa Cruz, or can we have it down here somewhere?
It's got to be in Santa Cruz by
shit.
now. They're not going to be like, we're going to do the 30th year anniversary at Darren's neighborhood.
San Diego.
No.
Yeah.
No. That's
It should be all the people that have rode for them prior.
But that should be the legacy of skateboarding. Like it should always be that. Like I mean,
Totally.
no matter what. Like let's say we have a 60th year anniversary. Anybody that was part of it should be there, right? I mean, that's what
Yeah,
it should
no,
be.
100%.
But it doesn't work that way no more because it just doesn't work.
Well, we
that
had
way.
the 30th year of Girl.
Yeah.
In Girl Skateboards.
Were you missing
And
anybody?
There
No.
there was like maybe one person,
Two.
two people who weren't
Two
there.
people, but
Hierarchies?
no.
It was like
by-
Jeremy Rogers.
They were busy.
Okay.
They weren't
Well,
in position to
I mean,
be there.
so
Right.
Jeremy Rogers wasn't there, but would you say? I'm sorry, Jeremy. Would you say
No, they
he's-
FaceTimed him,
Was
though.
he okay?
Yeah, he
is
was
he
there.
is he hierarchy of girl?
No, but he
was a big part of it back in the day.
Yeah.
He was
He just
part
couldn't
of a
make it.
moment,
He just
for
couldn't
sure.
make it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
But when
I-
you say hierarchy, what are you
That's right.
talking about, though?
It's my-
the history of it.
Yes, I think anybody that was involved in it
Okay.
is part of that hierarchy, though.
But
you know?
there is a history, a foundation of it.
100%,
Because
totally.
No, he
when
was not
we-
a part of the foundation.
Right.
No.
When I think of girl skateboards, I think of the foundation. When I first showed
Yes.
up, who was there? That's when I think of girl
But
skateboards.
Paul Rodriguez is a part of Girl Skateboards.
Absolutely, but he's also
That's a part of
of
his
Plan
story.
B.
100%.
He's also a part of Primitive.
Yes.
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
a big part.
Right.
For,
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so some of these skaters just jumped on, but they didn't build it. But that's okay.
Yes.
But they built it when they got on it. But
Totally.
it was already in existence.
Colin McKay was
They
a part
helped
of
the
Girl
longevity.
Yeah, but
and
Colin
the legacy.
McKay,
Yeah.
Colin McKay helped build Plan
B, right? But he was on Girl for like a year.
Right, but
If that,
so
yeah.
Colin McKay to me, he's a builder and I mean,
People forget that he was on Girl. Like, let's just be honest. Like,
you're
it was
right.
just a really short stint.
because
Boom.
when I think of Colin McKay, the first thing I go to is Plan B.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But you know what? He showed up.
Right.
He was there.
This
Yeah.
is true.
That's that.
Yeah.
And I thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
So what are you saying that everybody who was on a part of Creature should be at this 30th?
Well, we'd hope so.
Okay.
So are you saying that there
okay.
was some like disgruntled leaving the company type scenarios where dudes definitely didn't feel like they were going to be able to fix the relationship?
Well, I think no matter what, it's been a great journey. So I mean, fixing a relationship, not fixing a relationship, it's just it's a great thing. It doesn't matter. I mean, but I just think remember where things come from.
Right.
Totally.
And I mean that with all due respect.
Totally.
Sure.
But once you forget, it's okay because you can forget because okay. So here's something that I was once told. Hey Darren, if Creature ever fired you, it would never exist again. I was like, that's not how it works. Why? It's called Santa Cruz Skateboards. Okay, guys? Because when I got into Santa Cruz Skateboards, it was Jason, Jesse, Jeff Grosso, this generation. It wasn't Olsen, Salba, and these guys, and Dwayne. So when I got in, so it can happen again today, where like Darren Navarrette never existed with Creature Skateboards because it doesn't matter. Because the new kids just jump in, and this is where they're into it.
Right.
They start with hand plants. They start with 900s. They start with this, so it doesn't matter. But now if we want to hold the legacy of stuff, well, let's tell the story. And that's all it is.
And that's, I think, this is the thing. And Santa Cruz, I got to applaud them because they do such a good job of storytelling.
They do.
They do the true grits. They do all this stuff. And you know, Creature definitely can, like, tell a story as well, you know. And I think there's a story to tell of just
But the one they did
the
with
history.
you, the one they did with you was awesome.
25 years
I was
of
stoked on it.
Yeah, that was amazing.
But
Well,
that's
now
the type of thing, though.
you-
Not like one isn't enough to tell the story, right? Like 1 Club isn't enough to tell the Darren Navarrette story,
Right.
Like
No.
there's multiple layers.
I
and
got a
factors
sewing
of-
machine in the corner because I want to tell more stories, but we won't bring the sewing machine out. But because
I would love to see you sew something.
No, because the thing is, the fabric of this, the fabric of skateboarding, the fabric of it, the weaving of all these things together is what we're trying to do. The weaving of it, the history of it. Now it's Cobbles wall ride. It goes so
Right.
far, but this is a story that I've always been intrigued in the story of like, whose wheels rode this? Wow, his wheels rode on this. That's what I like, and that's just me though. Like looking at the history of stuff. Like
Straight up.
here's the thing.
I vibe with that as well.
Yeah, no, me too, man. Because like there's companies that stop the history.
yeah,
Like, just take World Industries, for instance, right?
Okay.
World Industries kept going and going and going. They did the Flame Boy. They did all this stuff. But they never really kind of went back and acknowledged the history
No, not at all.
of Kareem Campbell.
No, once Flameboy came
and all
through,
that,
they just
right?
they
I mean,
forgot.
they just went in this direction and they never looked back.
do they
you know?
need to?
But I'm saying, like, they should, because there's a history
Yeah.
there,
Well,
right?
see-
These new kids that are buying this board, they have no idea
Isn't that
what happened
Yeah.
that led them up to this point of buying a Wet Willy board.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, every brand should be celebrating their history.
Right.
It's like imagine these two cartoons come into these team riders and two cartoons come into play and take it to a different direction.
And Kareem Campbell was on the.
I know. Like you have
Crazy.
this amazing team.
Okay, so
and
real
two
quick, I'm gonna veer off to a different direction.
Please, no, 100%. I think we're just. I love
like it.
heritage.
But now, me too. But now we're talking about the history of skateboarding.
Okay.
Again. So I'm gonna veer off into a direction that I'd like to go with on this history of skateboarding.
Please.
Who's the oldest street skater today that's still holding ground, like really holding ground?
The oldest street skater
That's
today.
like still powering hard.
Eric
I mean-
Dressen had a long run.
Huh?
Eric Dressen.
Okay.
He's
okay.
still, bravo. He turned.
I mean,
he
Mark
turned-
Gonzalez is still.
Mark Gonzalez is
Yeah.
still doing stuff.
Okay.
He skated vert too.
Yeah. Okay.
Eric
I
Dresser
say
got a pro when he was like 12
Okay.
years old.
Who else we got anymore?
I'm gonna say my end generation of like the best
Right. Still going today and still
Guy Mariano.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's
that was
like
100%.
that. For me, that's the easiest answer.
Yeah, but you Guy Marano, Eric Costa.
Okay,
I mean,
so-
there's
okay,
so many.
okay,
there is a lot.
we're gonna-
Alfonso Rawls.
Okay. So now we're gonna go with this.
Andrew Reynolds.
Yeah, but I think you're talking
Guy
about older.
Mariano. So he still skates almost once a
He's
week. At
gnarly.
least?
Oh, he's
Right.
put out
He's
footage
hot.
that's insane.
Okay, so almost every day. I mean, a lot. He still
lot.
skates.
A lot.
Yeah,
as
we
much
see
as
him
his
out-
body allows him to.
Okay, so why shouldn't he quit and get behind a desk? Why does he not take that route?
Because that's not him.
Okay, so I like this. I look at this as like, why can't I quit skateboarding and sit behind a desk? I don't know why, but.
And
I
I'm
do
not
know-
saying that the guy can't do that.
No, but he doesn't want to because he
Yes.
loves skateboarding so much that he can't stop. This is us, guys. This is fountain of youth is skateboarding. I'm a late bloomer, so here I am at 49 years old. I'll be 50 next year. Oops, damn it, here we go.
Uh-oh.
And I'll embrace it because
damn.
I'll embrace it because you're still skateboarding it the way you are. Yes, because the fountain of youth is this.
Right.
So in skateboarding, I'd like to say this one. I think Chris Markovich is ripping right now.
Oh yes,
Oh,
Chris
yeah.
Markovich.
That's a
we can
good
forget.
one.
We can definitely forget.
That is a good one.
But he's definitely producing.
kind of on fire right. He's producing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All day.
Wow, I'd agree with that.
All day.
So-
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Chris. Real talk.
That's what I'm looking at. Like, 'cause
Yeah.
when I was a kid, like,
Lance
you know,
Mountain.
oh, of course,
Lance
man.
Mountain.
All
Well,
day.
Sure.
Well, Lance Mountain's the highest archy of the highest archies.
I heard he's filming a new street park. by the
And
way.
Ray Barbie.
Totally.
And Ray
Yeah.
Barbie.
No, but-
Shout
Oh, yeah,
out
we
to
heard
Ray
about-
Barbie.
So,
We
you know,
will,
it's
yeah.
funny because I do tell people, and I've been told, like, you'll never be like him. I know. But I was like, I follow Lance Mountain. That's who I want to be. I've always wanted to be Lance Mountain, but not really. I want to be myself. But Lance was the one that showed us, this is skateboarding, guys. This is fun.
Who do you look at as inspiration to getting older in vert? Is it like Tony Hawk? I mean, the man's what,
Well,
60?
Tony Hawk's beyond-
He's 50, late 50s.
Tony's the man. Let's just be honest.
Yeah. No, he's beyond my radar. I look at Lance Mountain.
Okay.
Yeah, because Lance is out there and he's
For vert.
for all of it, for
Okay,
skateboarding.
for skateboarding.
Again, like,
Got you. Okay.
Lance is this dude that's like,
How are you feeling, by the way?
I feel great. I've been.
Okay, good.
I think I've been. Last year, I skated. I believe the best I've ever skated in my life. I
love that.
I'm serious, but I think I have. I started doing things. I go to the gym. I do yoga. I do breathing exercises. It's working. Last year, I did a backside disaster revert. I haven't done it since 1993. People will be like, "That's easy." I did a backside disaster revert in a 10-foot bowl. How dare you? I know, but it's like this is. I don't know. It's just like.
You're loving it. That's what all that matters.
I
dude.
love it.
Yeah.
I love skateboarding so much, but I do think that last year I was skateboarding the best I've ever skated in my life.
I love that.
Do
I
you
love
feel
that.
taking on like yoga and meditation and all these things that you're trying to preserve yourself as your body? Do you feel that it's really working?
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah. The yoga started, I started doing yoga and all of a sudden my balance got better. I go to the gym a lot now, and it's funny because I've been getting attacked for going to the gym, which is really rad.
Who's attacking you, bro?
Old school skaters.
No.
Who's yeah, like who's?
Yeah, who could?
Sorry, you're taking care.
Yeah,
sorry, you're
dude.
taking
Yeah.
care of yourself. My apologies.
It almost bothers me, but it doesn't bother
Dick.
me. But it's funny because I had this one guy, I sometimes on my Instagram, I post me going to the gym. I know it's stupid.
Oh, you have people on social media.
Oh, yeah. But,
Yeah.
Whatever.
but I,
Whatever, dude.
just like skateboarding, I'm just trying to show like this is what it takes, guys. But I also back it up with my skateboarding. But it's funny.
People are
that
insane.
this one dude was like, "You went from my hero to my zero," because I'm showing me at the gym. Ah, dude, how old are you? Because the wisdom. How old is wisdom? It's not 25 years old, guys. I only have wisdom of a 49-year-old, and that's why I'm doing what I'm trying to do because I only have wisdom of a 49-year-old. And so we talk about how long can we skateboard? We follow Lance Mountain, but Lance Mountain's going to show us that I can go a little further because he's here and he's teaching us the way.
dude.
Yeah.
It is so ridiculous to me that there's people out there that will say hero to zero and bullshit like that because like I don't even believe that person's a true skateboarder.
No.
You know why?
No.
Because if you are a true skateboarder, you will do anything
That's right.
that it takes to continue to skateboard as long as possible, whether it's eating right, whether it's what you're putting in your body, whether it's going to the gym,
Right.
whether it's taking vitamins, whether it's taking these supplements at AG1 or whatever the hell it may be, you're doing anything
Yeah.
to keep skateboarding. So shut the fuck up
Absolutely.
All day.
about me going to the gym so I can skateboard longer because I love it.
When I first started
It's
yoga,
bullshit,
when I
bro.
first
Straight
started
up.
yoga, they all made fun of me
That's
too.
true.
Like, I understand where they're coming from because I was one of them. I was a bar stool guy. I could play pool. We drank every night. Whiskey, 151. Ooh, yeah. That's
Yeah, but you were
stupid.
younger, dude.
Absolutely. The older we get, we start to
Right.
learn, like, what does it take to keep skating?
Yes.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to sit behind a desk. I want to be in the field. I still want to be a general in the field. That's all I want to be. I know that sounds bad. I'm not the
not
leader.
bad.
I'm not the leader, but I want to still be like, oh man, that old man's still in the battlefield. That old man's still in the battlefield. That's all.
Dude, if you are in the battlefield, God bless you, bro. That's the thing, you know?
I jumped 6 stairs the other day street skating.
Did you backside flip it?
No.
Oh,
Just
360
ollie.
flip?
No.
Nollie heel.
I was riding a pig board. Hold on.
grab it?
I need to grab that pig board.
Grab it, Raj. This is there?
Yeah, I was riding this big old. Oh no, the one right
Which
behind
one?
you. That big.
Oh, this one? Oh,
yeah,
my
so,
bad, my
So
bad.
no, that's fine. It's not that one. But I was jumping. I
What do you
jumped
mean it's
6.
not this?
This was same shape.
same shape.
Oh, this one?
Let me see. Oh, is that the one?
Same one. I jumped.
Okay.
I jumped 6 stairs on that board.
This thing weighs 200 pounds.
You jumped 6 stairs on that thing.
I don't want to.
It's called weight training.
See?
No,
I
it's
just-
funny.
I
Though,
just-
it's as someone. If I was someone that's like still wants to skate and wants to know how to preserve my body, I would be I would be so stoked to see someone like you and to learn from you how I can help myself keep skateboarding.
That's the thing, Kelly.
Yeah.
This man should be taken as an inspiration.
Oh, he is.
These other idiots on the, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like that, it just frustrates
Someone
me.
asked me the other day if I think I'm better than other people. I was like, no. He's like, do you think you're better than other people, Darren? I was like,
Who are you?
I have a big council.
Stop looking at comments and all this bullshit. It's
no,
crazy.
this is a good friend, but I didn't like that.
Oh, it's a good friend.
I didn't like that. Like, do you think you're better than people, Darren? I was like, I have to let people go, man, because I've been saying this. I'd like to surround myself with people that are equal or greater than me, meaning I want my friends to all be equals to me or greater than me. I don't want anybody below me. And the only way they'd be below me if they make fun of me or make fun of other people. Now you're below me, guys, because you're now making fun of me. How dare you go to the gym? How dare you look like a... Now you're below me. Because
right.
And I don't mean it, like, but it's like, I want my friends to be equals or greater. Then gossip is stupid. This is stupid. Let's go higher. What does it take to keep skateboarding? But again, we talked about this earlier when we were off camera, like ego, this and this, skateboarding, like, you know, I mean, we all went through it, so we all know it. That was just called age. But the older we get, you know,
dude, the older you get, the more. See, listen, I it's funny because we listen. I grew up in an era of just mad shit talking,
right?
You know, and I have a story that I used to talk shit about Ragdoll.
Okay.
I didn't know him,
Right.
but I didn't like his skateboarding. He was weird to me. He was goofy. He wasn't like me,
This
right?
is great.
I met Ragdoll. I did a Red Bull tour with him.
Okay.
You know, it was a Seek and Destroy tour. Him and Kenny were teamed up, Kenny Anderson, Vegas.
And then you became friends with him.
Loved the dude.
Uh-huh,
I loved the dude. He was shaving at the roulette table in Vegas. He was doing his thing. Whoop, whoop, whoop. He was doing it. I'm like, this dude is amazing. And right then and there, I told myself, I was like, dude, it is so whack that I judged this person and then finally met him and was so hyped on him. I had to apologize to him. I was like, dude, I'm so like
But he's like, what are you apologizing for?
Yeah, I'm like, I was in my own group.
Yeah.
I was making fun of you, but you are the man.
This is great though, because this is what youth does. Youth just does this. We make we make these assumptions or these things without acknowledging yet. We don't even know, and I see this in all of it today. Like, I don't even know that guy, but I'm gonna go in and say he's the worst. You don't even know him. You don't even know.
And if you did know him, you'd probably love the person.
I had this guy the other day. Again, same thing. It's still social media. No big deal. But that's social media is the only way I can still be a skateboarder and somehow get paid. Because do you think Thrashers put me in their magazine? They're not. I'm too old.
Well, they only have one magazine, so you know.
Okay, but
I wouldn't say you're too old either.
I'd say they would put you in there.
Here and there. But it's like, would you rather? Okay, Darren, we're gonna put your Andrecht in or Kern Cable's Andrecht in? Come on, tell the truth.
Depends what the article's about and where
they'd rather put my Andrecht.
Absolutely, absolutely,
I get what you mean.
Guaranteed. Well, that's where it's at. Would you rather? That's just how it's at.
Go shoot with a T-bar.
You know.
Well,
I'm sorry, but this is that, and that's the politics or the demographic, and it's not a big deal.
I think right now there's only one goddamn skateboard magazine in the United States, and there's only limited pages. I think it's hard, and there's so many skateboarders.
I've seen a new one.
Oh, Closure?
Closer.
Yeah, but 100%.
Pretty cool.
Yeah,
it is very cool.
It is
Pretty
amazing.
fucking cool.
Yeah, shout
What
out.
is it? Bi-monthly?
Yes.
Hey,
I think
Closure.
so.
I'm gonna put a boombox on my shoulder. Just kidding.
Oh.
Just kidding. We would not do that again.
Shout out to Jamie
No,
Owens.
no.
Yeah.
Thank you, Thrash. Who does it?
Jamie Owens. Wow. It's a great magazine.
It's
is.
awesome.
He does it.
He
If
covers like all.
He
of-
combines
Yeah.
past with present. It's
Yeah, but
so
that name's
good.
part of skateboarding for a long time.
What?
Jamie Owens, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Amazing
So
photographer.
now here we go again, because this is what
He
we're
might be
looking
down
at.
by your area, no?
Well, this is the thing. So I say hierarchy, meaning longevity, meaning the love of skateboarding so much. He still is doing something for skateboarding?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I look at. A lot of people try and start new stuff or this or that, and it's fine. But I also look at this, and shame on me. Do you skateboard? That's what I look at. And you don't have to, because we don't need to. But man, I guess it's just don't tell a skateboarder how to skateboard if you're not skateboarding. I apologize. I'm
All day.
don't tell me what to do. I'm skateboarding.
Yeah.
Hey, Darren, you should do this.
We started skateboarding to be not told what to do.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that's the way it is, because all of a sudden we're in this world like,
You're gonna find your way.
Oh, yeah.
regardless.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
guaranteed.
Yeah.
Well, I think because it's so funny, man. Like we got a Creature. I mean, let's be. You're still a part of Creature.
Absolutely.
You're doing the thing. You're the legend, OG general.
I would like
You're
to
the
say
general.
this, if I could be. I'd like to become an eagle. I made a nest once.
Did you take acid?
Am I in this? I'm on that car again? I'm looking out the window? No, but I'm just saying.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, I love it. Thanks for that jab. That tab.
That's good.
You're an eagle. You made a nest. Go ahead.
But I need to fly higher.
Right.
What are you going to do? Because if I cannot move forward and I'm complacent, and this is my life is they're holding me complacent, and I have no avenue to build, I'd like to create. I need to create. I want to create. This is my life. I am a skateboarder. We create. We are creators. So if I have no platform to create on, I'm going to have to build my own platform. Now, if you give me a platform, I will create madness. I will do this stuff. I will make and I've had that before. They've given me, all of them give me, they've taken away from me, all of it. The industry's turned their back on me. I just kept going and just keep building. Like, I love skateboarding so much. Now what, Darren? How are you going to make a life of skateboarding? Well, let's figure it out.
I'm a pivot this way.
But is Skeleton Key your outlet now of creating?
Yeah.
Right. How does it combine with Creature and Skeleton Key? I mean, obviously you have your sewing machine, you sew stuff, you do a lot of clothing, but you also do skateboards.
Yeah.
How do you marry the two? How does this work?
That's to be determined.
Okay.
And that's just the way.
Because it's not like you're out making everybody's. You don't have a team. You're not making pro boards, are
Not
you?
yet.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about skating is we can do whatever the fuck we
What
want.
if I find
Like,
someone? What if I find someone in the field that I think's brilliant, and I see the vibration of what we saw, which we saw before. This is called skateboarding, guys. What if I'm in the field and like, that's the touch, that's the magic, which we've seen before, which we've created before. It was called Jimmy Wilkins. It was called Chris Russell. It was called Ryan Reyes. It was called
David Gravett.
It was called. See, we just saw these guys in the field, so also we just that guy. I didn't see him. I only saw him in the field. So
Okay.
these guys were the guys. Sam and Al were the best pool skaters I've ever seen. These guys. How did you see them? Hearsay? No. I saw them because we were there and I saw. So that's just what we got to do. So what if all of a sudden, like, hey, Darren, this is the best guy. I get it all the time. Like, hey, Darren, what about this guy? Until I meet them personally, there's nothing I can do. Nothing, because I'm not going to put someone on a team or do this without meeting them.
Sure.
I need to know them. I want to know them personally. It's like you said. What did you tell me? You said you got picked up when you were a kid.
Oh, from Christian Soy and Eddie Reddy? Yeah.
They came to your house and picked you up.
They went to the homie's house and picked us up.
See, that's the real stuff. That's just like how? I mean, they must have heard same thing, but they actually came to your house.
Yep. Yeah, they
So-
heard. I mean, they heard about us, and
I
called
feel-
us
Did
and
they
picked
pick
us
up you and your homies, or just you?
No, me, Weston, and I'm liking to say. I'm trying to say Ethan was there. Ethan must have been there. Ethan Fowler. Yeah.
Wow.
Tim Gavin and Guy Mariano came to my house, picked me up.
Come on.
I was tripping
pretty
in Sam
crazy.
Bearwald's car,
Yes, in the Jetta.
the Acura.
He had Acura
Yeah, silver Acura. Remember?
after the fact. Okay.
Yeah.
How did- So you were
Here I hear horn outside.
hold on.
It's Tim
Yeah.
Gavin and Guy Mariano picking me up. I'm like,
How
wow.
did, because your history is not quite known to me, but
Sure.
so they just heard about you and like
No.
this is-
I was friends already with them. Sam Bearwald. Sam Bearwald.
Sam
had a
Bearwald.
You know Sam Bearwald?
No, this name is it's almost
So-
it's almost like a name like
Funny story. Well, Sam Bearwald, he grew up in Brentwood. He had a house in Brentwood. He had a mini ramp in his front yard.
So, but he didn't.
Eric Dressen skated his
OG
mini ramp.
skater.
A
But
lot
the-
of people would come. Go ahead.
This guy's name you're mentioning, he didn't make it, but he
No.
was a big part of it.
He was
Yes.
a big part of
Ah.
it. So everybody started hanging out at his house, and all the world guys, blind guys, girl chocolate, they were hanging out at his house. And I was friends with this guy, Tim Dowling, who was a filmer for World and then Girl.
Okay.
And then he made his own video, Listen. But then I started hanging out with them, and then that's why. But to have Tim Gavin and Guy Mariano drive 20 minutes to come pick me up at my house
That's
was
awesome.
the most mind-blowing
Absolutely.
thing. I'm sure just like you, Christian.
Tim was always like that. He would come and pick you up, and same with Eric Costin. They would come pick me up for the weekend, and I was like, yes, let's go.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's when they first got cars too, so they wanted to drive and do their little thing.
For sure.
So now we look at this like, how did this all happen? Right time, right place, or the love of it so much that it could not be stopped. This is it.
Both.
Skateboarding.
All of
I
it.
think
all of it.
I think luck. As people won't say like, "Oh, you're lucky." No, it's by design, right? But I think luck plays a part in
It does.
everything.
Yeah,
Love and luck, dude.
It plays a
Love
part
and
in
luck.
everything.
I like that. I like that.
LNL all day.
Because luck is yeah, right. I believe that nothing happens by chance. It's already but it's manifestation. So the thing is, okay, so I want to be a professional skateboarder. I imagined it. So I remember I used to go skateboarding, and I was like, it was me by myself, and I was like, Darren Navarrette, you're after Lance Mountain, and I pretend I was Lance Mountain. I'd be like, Darren Navarrette, you're after Steve Kepler, and I pretend I was Steve
You
Kepler.
just in a parking lot.
A little small ditch.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, Darren Navarrette, you're you now, and I'd be me. I remember I told that to Drehobel once. He's like, that's the stupidest thing I've heard. My own interpretation, Drehobel. And he was like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I was like, you didn't imagine? See, I imagined that I was them.
Yeah,
But then
I've
I
done
also
that.
imagined myself. Like, you had to, right?
I imagine I was Eric Costin.
Exactly.
I did one of those things where you're like, if I don't land this kickflip right here, I am not going pro.
Oh, I used to do that,
Bro, it
hella
was
times.
just one of those like dumb
That was
little
way down
things.
the line, though.
Early
Or
on.
early for you?
Early
Oh.
on,
Okay.
like young kid type.
So manifestation is skateboarding in our heads, because all of us manifested, I'm going to bring Creature back. We pretended. We made it happen because of our imagination. Imagination is creation. We pushed it so hard, couldn't be stopped. Like, so now here I'm at this point in my life. Okay, Darren, you're 49 years old. Now what do you imagine? Well, shit, let's see. Let's see what happens now. Because I've gone this far in my life. The industry's put their back on me. Now what are you going to do, Darren? Because no one is believing in you.
Hold on, though. Can I interrupt really quickly?
Absolutely.
Yes, they've turned their back on you in the past, right? Maybe, but I feel like that there's a grudge there. Maybe.
There's no grudge.
Okay.
No, there can't be, because if I hold grudges, my vibration will not be strong enough, or love. So no matter what happens in this point of this juncture, give or take, let it be.
Right.
Because this is the thing. If I focus on nothing but negativity, I will get nothing but negativity back. So let's just be
100,000%.
cool.
Yep.
So whatever happens, let's say, oh man, I have a slime ball wheel. It's in the car. I'm sorry, slime balls. I didn't bring it out here. But there's a plug.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
But the thing is that let's just create it. Like, what's next? What's next? Let's figure it out. But no, we can't hold grudges.
No, for sure.
Let's build.
It's interesting though, because I think I just met you today, right? And I've your vibe since you walked through that door has been great.
Chris fell in love.
You're, dude. There's certain people that come in here and we just. Like, I'm like, this guy, they're never the best dude ever, you know?
Yeah, but see, the thing is, we have this love of skateboarding. We'll put us there. But that's the thing is, like, see, the thing is, someday me and you might be like, hey, we're going to go skateboarding. And like, huh? Yeah, let's go skateboarding. Why not? It's funny. Jason Rogers says he's going to be in San Diego in a couple of weeks. Like, let's go skateboarding, Jason Rogers.
Yeah.
In San Diego, is like, let's go down memory lane. Alfonso Rawls, absolutely. But Sal Barbier, how do you say it?
Sal Barbier, yeah.
Sal Barbier.
Yeah.
And I love this man very much. But
He's the best.
I keep trying to tell him, come skate with me. And he's like, And then he sees the boards and I'm like, you're riding those boards? The pig boards. Like, yeah, man. I'm reliving my youth.
Right.
I'm just having fun. I'm pretending again. And that's the funny thing is, like, I'm skateboarding and I'm pretending again. Lance once said, like, why do you go so hard for Instagram? Well, when we were kids, we went so hard for nothing. So I'm going so hard for Instagram because it also pushes me. Like, I create this thing. I see what I did. I like it, which is weird. Skateboarding does have this weird thing because it's like, it's very strange because skateboarding almost has this like, you have to like the way you look, but you kind of have to.
If you're gonna post it,
Oh, is that what you're talking about? Like, if you,
no.
oh,
but
what are you talking
like,
about?
Just skateboarding. Like you almost have to look at yourself skateboarding or no? No.
It depends who you are. Some people don't even want to watch their footage.
This is true.
But I mean, I like to watch my own
I
footage.
mean,
Yeah.
we say all the time, like, I think we're our own worst critic.
Did you used to watch your footage and like,
yeah.
Man,
Oh,
I was
over and over again.
I was super hyped, man.
Yeah.
We had the transfer tape. I had all my fucking footage on there. I'd be like, I want to see that shit again.
Why would you do that?
Because I wanted to see it and see if that shit was tight.
That's right.
We impress ourselves.
That's
we impress
right.
ourselves.
No, you wanted to see the tapes to see if your form was proper.
Right.
Yeah.
You wanted to do this to see if you liked to look up to the people, because when you look at these guys, like, I want to see if I hate the way, do it again. I don't like the way my arm was doing this. So you figure this out. So we just, I guess skateboarding, because that's the thing, is skateboarding has this weird thing, like, I'm trying to think of the word, like, but you have to look at yourself almost.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, our technique is so much in
Right.
skateboarding, right? And so,
Well,
like,
it's also-
it's not like you do the trick. Just because you do the trick doesn't mean you hit a home run or something. You got like a score. It's like you have to have that feeling when you land it. And
but it's also style, man.
Oh, yeah,
like we
totally.
came from a
Yeah,
generation
exactly.
where style was almost more important than the tricks that you were doing.
I'm still in that generation.
You know what I mean?
I'm sorry, but I'm
Big
still in
time.
that. I'm still in that generation.
Yeah.
That style is more important.
Right.
And
Yeah, you can't just be doing shit and thinking that shit's sweet,
Nah,
especially if it don't look right.
Again, there's again back to the 200 steer handrail. Back to that, no style. It's funny because I skate with Wes Kramer, and I think he's one of the raddest dudes out there. Sometimes we butt heads,
He
but
really
I
is.
think he's
love
brilliant.
Wes Kramer,
But it's funny because he made this trick and he put his hand down, and he had to do it again. I was like, dude, that was the one. That was the
because
one.
that added that style.
Yeah, but he didn't want that. He wanted
Right.
no hands.
Right.
But he also made fun of me one time because I dragged my hand. He's like, over kneaded, overdone. I was like, huh? But then I caught him later. I was like, wait a minute. Well, you said, you said I was overdoing it because I put my hand on the ground. You wanted to take your hand off and redid it. And then let's just call the Z-Boys in. Like, what is it? Drag your hand, make the style, make it happen. But it's just funny because bolts are great.
It can be boring though.
Absolutely.
I think that the sketchiness of a person landing. No. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Sketchy has a degrees.
Of
It has
course.
levels to your
Yes.
sketchiness. Now, a little sketchiness adds that extra stuff. A skirt out here and there, a pivot here and there. That's what adds.
Would you
to
call
their
Guy
style.
I
Mariano
agree.
bolts?
No,
he can be, but he's
he
also
can be.
he could be not too.
He's style for days.
Yeah, he's got
Style,
style.
though.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
because there are people that's in skateboarding that get equated to a robot style.
right. Yeah.
Because all they do is land bolts, and there's no
Right.
give or take to their shit.
We
And that's
will-
talking about from what he's wearing too. It's not just like it's how you put everything together.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's like we want French and English, and I mean, style to me is your hands. This is style.
Yeah.
And if that's not style, no, style is like this. It's the imperfection is style.
Yes.
Imperfection
Yes.
is style. So if you are perfect, you have no style. I'm
Right.
sorry, but what is that? That's an interpretation too. Like
Totally.
that's all it is. I mean,
Skating is so individual. It's so whatever. It's just crazy because each era, each generation has a different kind of outlook on it.
shit, we're in the 2020s.
It's crazy, bro.
Ah, fuck.
I find it funny that people that do really hard tricks that don't have great style find it hard that sometimes they're not involved in skateboarding. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can do the hardest trick. Why aren't that on that team? I'm like,
Because you don't look good, bro.
Well, yeah, but also you're not boys with those skaters, so you're not a part of those crews.
There's a lot of things that encompass that.
When
you know what I mean?
at the end of the day, if you're not on a team, it's basically because you're not connecting with those people. Like, that's it.
It's a part of it.
Yeah,
Big time.
I don't know. Skateboarding is such a weird way, and I always trip out when people can't
Well,
understand.
there's
that.
also the fact that certain people can fit on certain teams.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not
totally.
like, hey, oh my god, like I wouldn't be on zero.
Right.
There's no fucking way.
Why not?
Because I'm not that type of skateboarder.
All we have to do all we have to do is put you in a Metallica shirt.
You can make it happen.
Yeah.
But
There's no way.
One time we did the Creature video CSFU, and I remember I was like, I told Lee, I was like, every skater gets to pick their own song, and he's like, Darren, but we have a direction. I was like, doesn't matter. He's like, what if Ryan Reyes wants to listen to Lady Gaga? I was like, so be it.
Let him. Right.
Because that's what it is. He has his fans, and his fans might like Lady Gaga. So let's let it be, and let's make it happen because.
Yeah, some people that you wouldn't.
Don't tell the skater what to listen to. I'm sorry.
No. You're right. It's just but sometimes
That could be a
It's
disaster.
so funny though. Like Carl Watson, I can't remember who he skated to in the LRG video, but it was such a song that you think he would skate to,
Okay,
but it worked so good.
Was it his idea?
I think it was his, and like the owner of LRG was like, "Dude, that's sick.
Okay.
That's super
It can
sick."
backfire.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think sometimes some skaters are not really privy to music.
Well, that's
And-
right.
and
And they don't have the footage to back it up.
Yeah, but
that too.
Yeah,
but
that too.
It just might not go with your skating.
But they're just not ready yet. And it's okay because again, a vibration, and I've done it. I have a song that I put my father's Oaxacan music to, like, and I loved it at the time. And I look back like, I shouldn't have done that. That didn't work
But you wanted it though, right?
at the time.
It felt right.
But so I
but-
guess we have to look at, like, can you listen to that song over and over and over again? Maybe,
Right.
but that's where it becomes like.
But even if you can listen to it over and over, it doesn't mean it belongs in a skateboard video.
Okay, so now with this theory or talk, can I use a song that's already been used?
No.
Oh no.
Why? Here we
No.
go. Because now
Because-
Well, it
This
depends
is
what
no.
song.
This is huge.
no, this is good stuff. This is good stuff.
We've had this conversation.
Oh, yeah.
many
Yeah,
times.
yeah,
yeah.
I say nah. Roger
Okay.
says yes.
No, I say no.
Okay,
Because
Roger, are you the hierarchy, the oldest skater here?
Yeah, I see if I can go for it.
Okay. So,
here's a
okay.
perfect example. What if somebody uses Dylan Reeder's song
Which
that
one?
was in Gravis?
Which was what song?
The God, I'm drawing a blank. The Gravis part.
I know what part you're talking about. I don't remember the song name.
Raj,
though.
what's the song, real quick? Dylan Reeder. God, I'm blanking it.
That's okay.
It's such a good
see-
song.
Well, no, it's like what about this one?
But that
Okay.
somebody uses that song like that, to me is just like of the highest no. Like that's
Okay.
Dylan Reeder's song.
Okay.
Jamie
You don't touch
Thomas
that.
and
Same.
Jamie Teenage Wasteland.
Okay, but
You-
now
can
That's
you-
not Dylan Reeder's song.
No, Jamie Thomas.
Yeah.
I'm saying if you have Jamie Thomas using,
I-
and someone comes out and uses it
Graham
again
Nash.
later.
Graham Nash. Better Days.
I wish we could play some music right now. Okay, so but here on the hierarchy of this, not hierarchy again, lowarchy. Let's go lowarchy. Music was that musician didn't make it for Dylan's part. He played music.
But now every
Music's
time I
free.
hear that music, it's that's Dylan Reeder to me.
I know.
He chose that first.
Okay,
That's what
now
that
this
means.
is where I give you guys back to like what you're saying. Like if he gets it 1st, it's his.
Just like with
But
skating, when you go out and you film a
But-
trick at a certain place and you did it there first.
You could put it on your Instagram
You don't want
post.
you don't want nobody to do the same trick at that same spot. So that's the same. It falls into the same category.
Ennio Morricone did not play the good, bad, and ugly for somebody else, but anybody. So Sheffy
Sheffy.
used Ennio Morricone for the good, bad, and ugly.
Yeah.
It was made for Clint Eastwood. How dare him? But it is the way it is. So music should be. It is. It's like music is for everybody.
We're talking in the life of skateboarding.
I know. This is where I get confused.
What if somebody
We're not
used the-
talking
what if
about
somebody
why
u-
the music was made.
Right.
They use that music in skateboarding.
What if somebody
No,
uses the Oaxaca song?
I'd be like, that's my father's song. You're right. Okay. So I retract that statement. This is what we're trying to do. I'm trying to learn and trying to figure out what is not acceptable. It's all acceptable. It's all not acceptable.
Everybody has their own opinion.
right.
Yeah.
But you're
And
right.
I just believe that if somebody uses a song and it's been and it was in a very
It's an important
it was
part.
an important part in
That people know
skateboarding
about?
that people
Hell
know
yeah, I
about.
agree.
I agree.
think that should not be used.
Okay, I agree. Can you
know.
use it in Instagram?
It's the same thing. Because you're gonna still get those same feelings that about that song in those moments.
Okay, but what if you were just a kid and you wanted to use like?
I think Instagram's fine. I mean, it would be paying homage to it or something. You know, it's not like you're like, I'm building my career off this one song. It's like it's one post.
And they might not know. They might not know.
right.
Well,
that's
most of them
from
don't.
that
for a
standpoint,
kid, yeah,
but sometimes they don't go back and look at videos.
Okay, so this is what happened to me the other day.
it becomes for the elders though. The elders have to
All
step
day.
in and
They
be
gotta
like,
help
"Yo,
guide
so
them.
Sean
happened.
Sheffy."
I went street skating the other day and I was excited by it, and then I was just like, because I was reliving my youth of 1990 something. I was like, man, this is so fun. And I called my friends like, hey man, what was that song you tried to get me into a long time ago? And he's like, huh? And I was like, remember, because I like punk rock and I like punk rock and new wave and metal, but I like new wave a lot more. If you could go to a Slayer concert or a B-52s, I'm going to B-52s all day long. I think Indy should make a B-52s truck. Anyways. But so I was like, what's that song? Because I made this part. I was imagining this thing, and he was like, oh, that's fuck. What is it?
I have a private problem too with names of songs.
No,
man.
yeah, no,
it's a difficult.
It drives me crazy.
This is what happened. There was a song, and he's like, it's already been used, Darren. Or no, Wes Kramer came over, and I started making I was like, wait a minute. You can't use that song. I was like, why? He's like, it's already been used. I was like, but this is a song I heard as a kid, and I was just trying to relive my youth. And he's like, you can't use it. So I used a different song.
Right.
And he's like, you can use that one. And I was like, after I posted, I was like, you know what's funny? That song's already been used too. That was Corey O'Brien's part, guys. Like, but he didn't know.
He didn't know that, right?
Yeah.
So that became.
But you were the elder. You should have schooled him.
But you forgot about it, and then it dawned on you after the fact.
The problem with all of us, or some of us skateboarders in the field, they all think we're the same age. You're gonna go skate with a 16-year-old. He thinks you're relatable. He does, kind of.
We're all out of our minds.
Absolutely,
We're all out of our minds.
At the end of the day,
but there's so many.
Does it really matter?
It does. But it's just unwritten
skating.
rules of skateboarding.
Time for some action.
That's what it is.
Time for some action.
You know?
Time for some action.
Oh yeah, LeVar McBride.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So he was like, absolutely not. You cannot use that part. I was like, I never even seen his part.
To me, it's just.
I mean, that's understandable.
It's
but
just
at least you had somebody putting you on the game. That be like,
Right.
hey,
To me, it's just respect.
I didn't know he used it.
That's all it is.
yeah.
I think that's a
To me,
big
it's
part
just
of it.
respect,
I think it's a
man.
big part
You know,
of it.
it's like I'm not going to go use.
Animal Chin.
No, I don't even. Yeah, I'm not even.
I've been doing that lately. Yeah. I've been using my stuff that inspired me. I've been using it lately, just Instagram. I'm not using it for full video, but it's inspiring because I'm reliving my youth again. I'm pretending the other day I wore a Mark Gonzalez, a Jimmy Z hat, and I was like, and people were like, "You're stupid." And I was like, I was pretending I was Mark Gonzalez one more time. At 49 years old, I went to the streets and I pretended I was that kid again.
Where'd you find that Jimmy Z thing at?
Oh, it's at my parents' house. I saw it and I was like, oh yeah.
It's in the. You had it like in the garage.
Oh, I have so much
That's
stuff.
so
Absolutely.
sick.
No, I mean, I'm a collector of skateboarding. I still
love
have
it.
that stuff. So also, like, I got, I mean, Copers also, so Skeleton Key, we make Copers. We're going to talk about that real quick. Skeleton Key.
Oh wait, real quick. How did you come up with Skeleton Key? Like the name.
So this guy was like, hey, Darren, if you come up with $50,000, we can start a clothing company. And I was like, $50,000? I had a video game character. I was like, no.
That money gone. That money gone.
But at the same time, I was hanging out with my friend Shane in Mission Beach, Shane Geyser, and he helped me produce Creature. And I'd go down there, he'd smoke bong hits, but this guy had a lot of rad skateboarding stories. And every time I went down there, we just talked skateboarding, like we're doing here today. It was called skateboarding. Let's talk about skateboarding. We love it so much. Let's talk about this. And it was just these. And he had a silkscreen press in the corner of his thing, and he's like, "Man, Darren, I'm going through a midlife crisis." And I was like, "Should we start a clothing company?" And he's like, "Huh?" I was like, "Let's start a clothing company." He helped me do Creature, or not. He helped me bootleg it.
Sure.
So I was like, he has a silkscreen press, and I was like, well, let me see what we can do. And I went home, and I was like, I'm going to start a clothing company because my friend's going to do this stuff. I'm going to start a clothing company, but I'm going to start something. It doesn't have to be a clothing company. I'm going to start something. So I was at home, and I was writing all these ideas down, like airplanes, World War II, knights, Indians, cowboys, army tanks. I like everything. I like all this stuff. I like, what are you going to call a company? You could call a company anything you want to. What are you going to call it? Knights of the Round Table. Nah. I don't know.
It's hard.
And then all of a sudden I woke up in the middle of the night like, Skeleton Key. And I wrote it down. I was like, there it is. Because Skeleton Key could be anything it wants to be. It can unlock doors, it can do anything it wants to. If Skeleton Key doesn't make it in skateboarding, I might be the best fishing lure company in the world. Skeleton Key.
And it looks like you're
Fishing lures.
Okay.
Is this the Skeleton Key right here?
No, that's just the middle finger. The middle finger showed up because it was just kind of, at the time, again, I was like Fuck you, industry.
Okay.
It's funny because like the term skeleton key it's kind of old school. I don't
Absolutely.
think it gets. I don't think it's used anymore. Really, skeleton key.
I don't know.
Like skeleton key is the key that is
Open every door.
unlocks every door.
Anything you want.
Right.
Well, I think the name Skeleton Key. So I look at names in skateboarding or anything. It's going to take you where it's supposed to go. Independent's a brilliant name. Creature can be anything because at first Creature's just no. Creature's a butterfly. It can be anything. So that's my philosophy with Creature. Like, oh yeah,
interesting.
when we put Ryan Reyes on the team, like you can listen to Lady Gaga. Yeah, but we got to be like this, Darren. No, Creature is everything. It's a butterfly. It's a moth. It's a creature. It doesn't
Interesting.
matter.
That's
So I
cool.
think names have to do a lot of stuff. Like Skeleton Key, what is it? It's anything.
Right.
It can be anything it wants to be.
Skateboarding is brilliant with names. Let me just say that. Sidebar. Skateboarding has created brilliant names within this industry.
Vision, blind.
The
now,
New Deal.
Amazing.
But then there's also these other names.
And I'm talking early on. I'm not saying that everything that's been under the rainbow has been great, but the early on shit has been fucking psycho.
And then it's funny though because there's other names. Powell Peralta, still brilliant to us. But I think like okay, so let's go some other avenues into how dare me.
By the way, when has any other company been named after somebody? Powell Peralta.
That's one-
Hosoi is the only
Hosoi.
one.
Yeah.
Hosoi
Steve
skates.
Olsen Skates, SOS.
Hosoi is the only one still going.
Yeah.
Alva.
Alva. But
Oh,
this day and age,
yeah.
though, this
Alva's
day and
true.
age,
That's true.
you don't have like Nigel Houston going like Houston Skateboards.
I almost am intrigued with that. I don't like it, but I kind of like it. Can you,
You got
do
a problem
it?
with Houston, though, Texas.
I
yeah.
know, but if you can get that avenue again, like I don't know if it's possible. And again, it happened this thing where like you're not allowed to wear your own shirt with your name on it. Like
Come on, Miguel.
right.
Oh,
He ran that
Okay.
all day.
Okay.
But why can't we?
Yeah. No, I was.
We
just
do it
curious.
now, though.
Well, who
I think
does?
people. I mean, we ride our own
Does
boards.
Yeah.
All day.
does Nigel wear his own T-shirts?
Yeah.
I guess T-shirts.
Well,
might
he
be a
owns a
little bit-
company. Disorder.
But it's still not called Nigel.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
No.
Okay.
Sorry. What were we talking about?
No,
I don't wanna-
naming our own stuff.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
names and
Yeah.
skateboarding and this stuff. And whenever you guys want to wrap it up, I had a great time. But let's see.
See you later, everybody. Have a good night. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I think.
Well, here's the thing, though.
No.
This is there. You have to come back because we can't get through all of Darren Navarrette in one episode, and I just like talking skate with you. I think it's
Yeah,
fun. I
this
think
has
it's
been
fun
great,
to
bro.
banter on all the stuff that we've been bantering about. I'm sure people will leave in the comments their interpretation
Yeah.
of what song to use or not use or this and that, and all the bullshit we've been talking about. This is what we talk about in our living room anyway.
This is it. But
Right.
this is what skateboarders do. You
Yeah.
know, we skateboard and we talk about skateboarding. So, but it's funny because someone was like, you should write a book, Darren. I was like, why? Well, because you got a lot of stories. Yeah, but I'm going to keep writing more. So I'll write a story of my life when it's over with. But in the meantime, I'm still writing stories. So I cannot stop now. Let me tell my story. Here I am telling my story now, but I've got more to go.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So the problem is
the rest is still unwritten.
absolutely, but I'm writing it, or I've already written it. Now that's where we have to see, like, did Darren Navarrette already write his story and it's already producing? He's already manifested it. He loves it so much that it cannot be stopped. Let's see, and let's see where skateboarding goes. I was like, did you hear what happened to Darren Navarrette? He moved to, it's on the side of the road. He didn't make it. No, I don't think that's going to happen because I just don't think it's going to happen.
He's in San Diego doing yoga.
That's right.
Dude, what did Arto say that was brilliant the other last episode? It's like you want to hear God laugh? Tell him your plans.
Oh, yeah.
And I was
he
like,
said
that
that,
was
yeah.
pretty funny. Like,
He was quoting somebody else. I think.
Yeah.
Was
I
he?
never-
That's been
I had
said-
never heard
that's
that
been-
before.
I've heard that before.
oh,
pretty good.
I thought that was pretty good. Never heard it.
It might
Okay.
have been in a movie.
So, Skeleton Key. Are we? What are we looking at there? Is it like, do you make boards every month? Do you do drops? Like, do you make stuff when you feel like it? Like, what are we working with right there?
Okay, well then I'm going to say we're going to make it when we feel like it.
Okay,
There you go. No schedule.
I like that.
Well,
I like
mean,
that.
that's how it used to be.
Right.
We didn't plan it. You just did it when you felt it. You didn't do it like, okay, so we have this problem. Like, I'd like to make sweatpants right now. We can't do it for 3 years because we're already ahead of things. Like, yeah, but it's now. Sweatpants are now because I'm in the field now. That sounds like a great idea, but we can't. 3 years from now, it might not be cool.
Right.
Let's do it now. Let's do it now. So maybe the thing is having something small. You can do it now.
You could do it now.
Yeah.
Right. I like that.
So then you got your thumb on the pulse or whatever you want to say. You're on a vibration. Like, now, where's skateboarding going? Well, it's going right now. What's the coolest thing? Right now. So,
Right.
Not mad at that.
And then, so what do you do with the graphics? Like, you got a board down there. Like, who does the graphics? What's going on with it? Because they're pretty intricate graphics, man.
Well, it's my friend Drew P. that draws this stuff.
Drew P?
Yeah, no, it's an old. So there's a lot of stories here.
Okay, Drew P.
Drew P.
Drew P.
So a lot of stuff lines up.
Is that his real name? Drew P?
That's his Drew P.
Drew P.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the board behind you, that Navarrette one, that was a Creature board that we did. He did that for me, and so he lives in Mission Beach, and he's a tattoo artist. When I was a kid living in Mission Beach, I got all these tattoos. And I look back on that like, I got these tattoos because I wanted to fit in. So he was this guy that just did tattoos. And, the funny thing is we always wanted to fit in.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why did I want to fit in? And now looking back on it, like, I never fit in. So I think that's the trick now. Is like, don't fit in. Be yourself. I tell people today, like, if I could do it all over again, all these tattoos, I wouldn't do it.
No?
Nah. They didn't make me.
Right.
But at the time I thought, I want to be tough. I want to be this. I want to be that. So I had to follow this thing, this path. When I was a kid, I was scared of getting hurt. I was scared of someone fighting me, breaking my nose, doing this. And then I realized, like, everything I was scared of, I did to myself. Everything. Like, you're scared of getting punched? Yeah. You're scared of breaking your nose? Yeah. You're scared of... I did it to myself. Skateboarding taught me everything to myself. I've hyperextended my knees 3 times, my elbows twice. I broke 2 ribs in France and pissed blood for 6 days in intensive care. Everything that I was afraid of someone doing to me, I did to myself. Skateboarding. This is it.
Right.
So, yeah.
And you didn't have a problem with any of that.
None of it.
Right.
But I would be so scared if you saw me in the street like, oh, I'm going to kick your ass, Darren. Like, no, please don't. But 2 weeks later,
Right.
I'm trying to drop in. Ba-ba. What's it taste like? Blood.
Right back to the beginning. It was circling right back around to the beginning. No, dude, it's amazing, man. And I think that, like, I just love what you're all about. You know what I mean? Like,
Skateboarder, man. Pure skateboarder.
100%. Everybody that comes through that door and sits in that chair is 100% a skateboarder, But I think there are levels to it, right? And I think that you are on the top echelon of that level of being a fucking skateboarder. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
If that makes sense to anybody
makes
out
total
there,
sense.
right? And I love it. I love it because, like, you could see the passion, you could see everything like that. It is your being, And what does it taste like? What does it smell like? What is it? I've never heard that before, but when you say it and you explain it, it makes perfect sense.
Definitely.
No, you said it when you first started skating. Those 3 terms, and I was like, "Hey, you're right."
Well,
I never thought of that.
Never thought about what skateboarding tasted like.
When you were a kid and you saw skateboarding for the first time, it had something that you never experienced in your life. So what is it? It's senses. Skateboarding had all senses. It had all the... What is this thing? What is it? But that's what it was. This or is still the existence of what is this thing? Why do we skateboard? Why do we love it? Why can we not stop? I can't tell you, but I can tell you myself, or I can tell myself, like, it's unexplainable, skateboarding.
It really is unexplainable.
Yeah,
it really is. You try to explain skateboarding to somebody,
Almost impossible.
good luck. Good luck.
Someone that doesn't know.
We all have our spiel,
Yeah.
right? But there's no way that they're going to understand or
Okay.
even comprehend what we're
If I
talking
were to
about.
ask you, what do you see when you jump down a set of stairs? What do you see?
I see
See me rolling away.
Okay.
I see bad things happening.
No. When you land a trick, what do you see?
Sometimes you see nothing.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's black.
And there it is. Because that's That's the part of it. See,
But to your point though, you don't even have to. You could be doing the most technical trick also,
Yep.
and still black out.
that's the part of creation, I believe. Like, you don't see nothing. When you make a trick, you saw nothing. You made it. You see nothing. When someone's like, "What do you see when you do a back sit air?" Huh? Because I see the corner of my foot for 2 seconds. I see this. I don't see nothing. You cannot explain it. When you jump on a handrail, what do you see? You see
Jamie Foy front crooked down El Toro and blacked out. Doesn't remember. All he remembers is rolling away.
right, but that's
You feel it though.
that's okay. Well, that's our senses again.
Yeah.
Because this is where we're at. Because I don't think you can see it. It's all feeling. Again, like if we were just like, "Hey, guitar player, what do you see?" I don't see nothing. I mean, because skateboarders,
feeling, yeah.
it's all feeling. So all of it is just, it's unexplainable.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I love it, man. I love it. You have to come back.
but anyways, label me,
Right.
and I'll label myself. I'm a vert skater.
Token.
I like, if we could leave it at this, because I'd love to
was
just.
great.
I am just a token.
The token vampire.
Will you go, Kelly? Will you grab some token Yeti stuff for Darren, man? This has been so much fun, dude. Like
Definitely,
I love. First of all, I just love talking to people. I
Yeah,
love talking to people. I love talking to people about where, because we all end up in the same place, right? It's like we all end up in this professional skateboarding game, but everybody's path is so different, and I love that. Thank you, Kelly. And the vertical vampire made it up here.
Do you think we
Came
all end up
through.
in the same place?
Well, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you're a professional skateboarder, yes?
Yeah.
Right? We're professional skateboarders.
gosh.
We kind of ended up in the same place, but our journey
Okay.
is so different.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that's why I love hearing your journey, but also like your take on skateboarding. Maybe totally different than mine, but we
Absolutely.
do the same
Right.
goddamn thing.
Okay.
So nobody's right or wrong.
There we go.
That's the
Now
beauty of it.
that's
boils down
that's
to.
the biggest circle of all of it. Like, no one's right or wrong, and so if you say this is the way, for me, maybe not for you.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
there is no right or wrong. I mean, all truths are but half truths.
But there is what's cool and what's not cool, huh?
Well, absolutely, interpretation.
First of all, Darren,
Thank
dude,
you.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you got a little drive home, man.
Yeah.
So stay hydrated. We're going to fill this up with nice, cool water
Okay.
for you, man. There's our 9 Club Yeti thermos right there. Look at that. Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. You coffee drinker.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Bro, this thing, I love this. This is the 9 Club Yeti. I travel with this fucking thing. I
does.
love it so much, man. It keeps your coffee, fits right in the cup holder as well.
Okay.
Carries it
So
everywhere.
good, man. I love it.
Okay, so I was supposed to bring gifts, but I'm gonna have to come back.
Yeah.
Because I did bring gifts, but they're in the car, and this is Venice Beach, and they're probably already.
Your
They're-
car's
they're
probably
chilling.
your car's probably gone.
Yeah.
It's gone now. So,
Well, luckily you got all the stuff out of it. So
but next time I come back, and
All the archives.
next time I come back, I'll put my sewing
Dude.
machine here, and then we'll just sew, and we'll just do a sewing circle. Be like, what is this show? Like, this is called sewing, the fabric of skateboarding.
You have
love
to.
it.
You have to come back. I mean, anybody in the watching this that made it to the end of the show, like leave a comment in the description.
Please
Leave
do.
a comment saying like bring Darren back
Dude.
for more skate
All right.
talk, dude.
Well, here's the thing: is like, I'd like to go skating with all you guys here. Not tonight, but someday. Like, if we could all go skating, like, hey, they brought Darren back. No, we all went skating together. That's what we did.
Let's go.
you do
so-
some. You
Let's
do some
get it.
slappies.
I'm a terrible slappy guy, to be honest.
I am too.
Slappies are so fucking hard.
very hard. But these guys
Okay,
are good.
real quick story before we end this.
No, please.
I remember like I was pushing to this curb, but now it's 1993 again. We're back to 1993, and I was pushing, and I ollied onto a nose slide, and I went as far as I could, and this kid was like, "You're doing it wrong." I was like, "What?" He's like, "That's not how you do it," and he just pushed all nose slide, and he just, you know how you remember on the nose slide where you just turn
Turn
into
in
it?
nose
Yeah.
slide. Yeah.
And he was just so stylish. He was like, and I was like. So the next day, I grabbed a Steve Caballero 1983, and I went downtown, and I remember like, oh, well, this is how you roll, because at that time, you didn't roll, guys. We pushed, we got on. There was so much wax. That's fine. That's it. I mean, that's. Do we remember how to roll on a skateboard? That's all it was. Just roll on a skateboard.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, I love the fact that you could see somebody pushing down the street, but the smile on their face tells it all.
Okay, real quick.
Oh, wait.
Longboards, yes
Yeah.
or no?
Are they dancing on them?
Are they what?
What's
Are
that?
they dancing on
Are
them?
they dancing?
Raj
they
wants to know if they're
dancing?
dancing on them.
Scooters, yes or no?
Whoa, wait. We didn't get to the first one. Hold on.
Yeah, we'll take the scooter. Retract that one.
I like when I see the longboarders dancing on it and like doing all that, I think it's like, damn, that's tight. They have their groove and they're in their zone. I'm like, yeah,
It's like freestyle.
yeah, it's like pretty sick. I'm like, that's cool.
All right, let's just go to the future now. We went back to the future. Electric skateboards, yes or no?
All day.
Raj loves them.
Raj loves those things.
I think they're dangerous. Man.
I think they
don't-
are dangerous. I think they're dangerous.
Cool.
No, I don't. To me, I would never. I wouldn't get a longboard. I have had the electric one skateboards before. They were cool for a day or two. Didn't like them after that. I think I just kind of put mine to the side.
Yeah.
So you still want to push?
Yeah,
Okay, that's
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
I'd rather walk.
I actually walk a lot of times, but then
I
again,
love walking.
I'm gonna plug my friend Wes Kramer. Gonna don't walk, Darren. Skateboard. Like, oh man.
But walking's good for you though. I walk about
Yeah.
I walk about 3 miles a day.
Yeah.
I would not listen.
Really?
Yeah.
Listen,
Wait a minute.
What?
You walk 3 miles a day?
Yeah.
Not jogging, not running, just
Mm-mm,
walking.
just walk.
What are you doing?
I listen to like a podcast. I listen to Howard Stern. I listen to some music.
You're not going on actual walks? Are you like walking on like the Stairmaster type shit?
No, actual walks.
So
I
you're-
walk outside and get
Amazing.
sun.
he's got his ankle weights on.
So you're just using your mind. You're just trying to figure out how to put your mind in things and figure it out.
I think just being outside and just walking is like so good for you, and
I
it's so
agree.
relaxing,
agree.
and just like you can. It's better than sitting on your goddamn couch.
Do you do it in the morning? Or
Sometimes I walk twice a day. Sometimes I'll do it in the morning, and then I'll do it before evening.
When's the last time you did it with listening to nothing?
That's tough because I have done that because I'll forget my little earbuds, but I don't. I like to get into stuff. I like to because it's kind of like a zone out.
Sure.
You know.
Okay, so when you go to the gym, do you listen to music?
I don't go to the gym.
Okay. When you do yoga, do you listen to music?
I don't do yoga.
Okay, so when you go swimming, do you listen to
I
music?
don't. Who swims?
Okay, so
how do you swim and listen to music? You gotta play blast it. You gotta blast it, right?
I'm just trying to figure this out because sometimes I listen to nothing.
I think that's good too. I think everybody's got their thing, right?
I work out. I listen to music.
So
I
you
don't usually. If I'm skating by myself, I listen to music. I have headphones in. But if I'm with other people, usually I don't have that in.
Honestly, something I do a lot is meditation. Nothing, just go sit and breathe. And
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing. Like I have to turn everything off because then my mind just becomes.
Focus on your breathing.
Yes. If your phone is in reach, that's a bad thing.
Oh, dang.
We were kids, remember, and we didn't have it. We were so lucky. You know, I mean, I have a friend one time, he got mad at me because I didn't answer the phone, and he left a nasty text message like, I was like, remember when we were kids and you'd call my house? My mom would answer like, hey, Darren, Sam's on the phone. Are you here? I'm like, I'm eating cereal. And he didn't care because nothing mattered. And now it just becomes like, you're there, you're just, it doesn't
Well,
matter.
because it's in your pocket.
I know you had your phone on you.
Yeah. Well, it used to call the house if your friend wasn't there, he wasn't there.
That's right.
You're not going to see him.
No.
You're not going to go find him.
No.
He's not home.
What a brilliant time. We had to go, like, I wonder if anyone's skating. You had to go and find out.
You had to go to the spot.
Yeah.
And no one's here and you still skated. You didn't care. It wasn't this thing. So anyways, that's what it was. So anyways, sometimes I just turn everything off.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Am I going to watch this show? Probably not because I'll be embarrassed to hear myself. Like, your voice sounds like... So anyways.
People will be listening to it while they do yoga.
You're
or
the
something.
vertical
Working out,
vampire,
or,
man.
yeah,
Come
skating,
on, dude.
driving. Yeah.
No, but listen, this has been an honor. It's been a privilege.
Definitely, bro.
Always welcome. The door's always open. Please come back and come up and skate. We'll teach you some good slappies.
Okay.
Yeah?
Right back at you. I'm very stoked that I've been here and got to experience this. And my favorite part is like, this was a house that one of these guys lived at once. Now that's what's most intriguing to me. This is a house. I can see the kitchen from where I'm sitting. Okay, that's it.
No, this was a skate house too. I mean, it
is a-
still is.
Yeah.
But there were skaters on the floor. They were it was.
So
Yeah.
this is a real thing. That's
Yeah.
that's all it is. This is a real thing.
Yep.
I see it. Thank you.
see it?
Yeah.
I see it. Thank you.